Yes.
And we're
Tried to
live and in
3
Gala.
times. It sent me a link, and each time the link has said it has 24 hours to it expires. Each time I have clicked on the link straight away, and what has it told me?
This link
The
is
link
expired.
has expired 3 times in a row.
I think it's all government websites, really.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. We are here for another Sunday night. Sorry we're a little late. It's all Cam's fault.
It is my fault. I apologize.
I was running a little late myself. We were doing stuff elsewhere, trying to get shit done. Didn't quite work, but we're back. We're back for another D&D session. Wednesday night went exceptionally well. I almost killed the party again, which is great. They faced some flaming skulls and didn't fare too well, and found themselves trapped inside the Ember Temple, which is awesome fun for me. So, we're back here for Sunday Curse of Dusk Hollow. Just to recap what is happening. Mini campaign Curse of Dusk Hollow runs until completion, and then we'll probably take a week, maybe 2 weeks break in between. We will do nothing on a Sunday so everyone can have a bit of a break, and then we'll return with Season 2 of Blood and Belief, our Vampire Chronicle. So,
Yes.
definitely looking forward to that. We left on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so the return should be pretty fun. We probably will see the return of some of our guest actors as well, even though one of them has perished in the finale. So those that haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell you who. You can go watch it. It's on the YouTube. For those that have seen it, you know who it is, and we should see the return of them in a different iteration in Season 2. So, hopefully. So, if there's nothing else from anyone else, no, we should be all good. What's today? Sunday. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We're going to do some more New World. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to do some stuff after tonight as well. So I think we've organised for a bunch of us. We're going to run a couple of dungeons after the stream tonight. So without any further ado, we shall recap last week's session of the Curse of Dusk Hollow. Last we left off, we'd gotten partway through a battle in which Hex had unfortunately fallen unconscious. She was healed and the battle waged on, many more cultists joining the fight as you fought in the hallway for a time, and the adjacent room seemed to have more combatants in that you could see. Eventually decided to retreat to the hallway and then moving as a group, marching into the room, which was okay and not okay all in the same time. Hex eventually decided to try and cast a acid ball, a version of fireball. Unfortunately, a counterspell from one of the cultists negated this particular event. However, the cultist returning fire with a fireball of its own, killing a couple of his own men, didn't seem too worried about, but doing some substantial damage to the heroes. A couple of hellhounds joined the fight. Moriel is rendered unconscious with an arrow shot to the chest. Hex is rendered unconscious once again for the same thing. Bonasis revives Moriel with a small heal, and the hellhounds surround Alba as Hex and heals Hex once again. The hounds attack Alba, who is rendered unconscious. A lot of unconscious bodies in this particular battle. Moriel shifts from a slightly darker form into the shape of a reaper, striking fear into those around him. However, the hounds themselves seem unaffected. Hex once again uses the Dark Whispers spell and destroys the cultist caster, blood running from his eyes, ears and nose before his head explodes with psychic energy. Steve takes care of the thug with a dagger thrust into throat, and Moriel heals Alba, bringing him back from the brink. Moriel, however, once again goes down as a hellhound attacks, the hound biting down on his unconscious body. Captain Moore ends the armoured veteran finally with a decapitating blow after several missing attacks, not having a good time of things. Alba then smashes one of the hounds, killing it, and then moves in and attacks the final hound. This last hound breathes fire, once again dropping Alba to the ground. Moriel manages to avoid death with the favour of his deity, but remains unconscious. Eventually, as the last hound is killed, Captain Moore redeeming himself a little bit, rendering the hound dead, and Moriel is revived with a healing potion. Exhausted and beat up, you retreat back to the storage room where you'd previously spent an evening to rest and recuperate. After a night's rest and seemingly uneventful evening, you recover, you wake up, and you return back to the room where you had slain your enemies, searching bodies and such before you did so. Eventually moving into a northern bedroom of sorts, where a trap was triggered, a rune dealing some small damage to a couple of the party members. A diary was found explaining some of the activities that have been held in this old ruin, and a number of books tweaked Benasis's like as well, and he took a few off the shelf. And this is essentially where we rejoin you now, as you continue your search of these small rooms, or this particular small room in fact. So we'll turn over to the party now, as you have basically, Moriel's taken the diary, you've pocketed that or bagged it. Benasis has taken a couple of titles from the shelf. There were several other books that sort of caught people's interest, a few random titles here and there. A lot of these books in languages that some of you know and some of you don't know, and languages that none of you know. It seems to be quite an extensive library. 2 doors to your immediate west. Captain Morris stood there for a while and has heard nothing from the other side. I'll turn over to the group now as you continue your search.
So, shall we check this room just to cover the bases, make sure there's no one in there, or nothing to come and get us before we continue back where we came from?
Yeah, I think we can have a little sticky beak. What do you reckon, Elba?
Yep, whatever. Let's just get this done. Had enough. Just want to get out of here. So whatever makes us fast, let's fucking do it.
For safety's sake, I can open the doors without anyone being near them, if thou wish.
Of course, Hex. It's being prudent.
So DM Hex uses her invisible mage hand to open one of the doors. I will look it open.
So you open one of the doors, and what you see is essentially, it looks like a fireplace, a small torch, possibly maybe a desk in there. You can't really tell without opening the other door as well. Sort of line of sight issues.
Well, Hex will double open.
And indeed, you see a small room that contains a large desk. Again, looks like numerous bookcases, a fireplace, and a rather large, comfortable-looking chair. So place yourselves where you would be at this particular junction before we carry on. Let me know once you've put yourself into a position.
Gonna be searching this relevant area, the desk and the chair and stuff.
You move forward to the desk. The fireplace is empty and cold. The tomes in here are different from the books out in the main bedroom area. They seem more related to knowledge of the world and things like these books, and these, even though the bookshelves look like they're stacked full, there's not as many books on these shelves, and most of them are leaning towards the more of the arcane and necromantic in nature. Again, many of them in languages you have no understanding of. As you sort of peruse through some of the titles, Moriel, you'd notice, you'd recognize some of the titles of books you may have already read. There's also all manner of tomes and bits and pieces there, just histories of the arcane, histories of necromancy, liches, demi-liches, all that kind of thing. Just it's more of an arcane history more than anything else. If you want to investigate further, roll investigation check. I'd say that you're all going to do it, so I'll get Captain Moore to roll with advantage on the desk and Moriel to roll with advantage for the room.
I did not bad. I got 17.
17. Your roll did not come through on Foundry. Interesting. What's happening there? 11. Was that an 11, Mario?
It sure is,
Oh,
because I have a -1.
Yeah, it's just reading differently than it normally does. 11. So, Now that'll be why, because it was connecting. Anywho, so 17 and 11. With an 11, indeed, you find, again, just those tomes, a couple that may strike your interest, just a little more of an in-depth history on necromancy around the realm, which you're more than happy to take if you wish. It's in common. It just gives you a brief histories on a lich or two that have been studied in this area, that have demi-lich that was destroyed many years ago, and a few more necromantic, possible necromantic rituals that may or may not pique your interest. Captain Moore, with a 17, as you go through the desk, on top is just random papers. You open one of the drawers and you find a wand of sorts. It's a sort of a gnarled and twisted piece of wood. Looks at first glance maybe like a branch, but it's been polished. You've probably seen other magic users use wands before, so you'd recognize it as a wand. And then you notice a bunch of scrolls in that same drawer. You're not sure what they are. You know that they're not message scrolls or anything like that. They're not letters. They seem to be on heavier gauge of paper, which would lead you to believe possible spells, maybe. You've seen something similar before.
Hey, Reaper. Might want to check out this here wand, and looks like some magic writing or something.
Very well. Moriel will walk over and look at the scrolls.
Indeed, it is a wand. Could be a wand of anything. You're not entirely sure without identifying it, but you know it's definitely a wand. The scrolls, you pick them up, and one by one you unfurl them and read over the arcane text. A couple of them you definitely know, as one in particular is a spell scroll of Bless, which is at its base level. It's a spell you know already as a cleric, so you definitely recognize that one straight off the bat. Another one, Comprehend Languages. As you read through it, again, it's maybe not a spell that you would natively take as a cleric, but as a sorcerer, it is recognized by you. The spell of Alarm is also there. Again, these are all base level spells. Identify is another spell. And the final is a spell called Thunderwave.
Well, we have Scroll of Bless, Scroll of Comprehend Languages, Scroll of Spell of Alarm, Spell of Thunderwave, and also a Spell of Identify. So,
Might be wise to identify an item that you are curious about.
we have at least 4 items that need identifying.
I would allow, if you were to take the time to sit up and take 10 or 15 minutes to cast it as a ritual, to stack the items and identify them all. This will be yours. Even though the spell technically is only one item, if you take the time to cast it and concentrate, it may or may not take a little bit out of you.
I can take 15 minutes to identify everything that we have, or we can wait until we complete this task and then I can identify everything. But as for these scrolls, Thanasis, Hex, any of them, feel free to collect what you want.
Would it be prudent to comprehend languages on some of these other books, or?
Moriel would hand over comprehend language scroll to Thanasis if he so wishes to do so.
And grab it and give it some thought.
And this wand. Who would like it? I've already got this staff, even though I don't know what it does. Feel one of our caster friends could use it or benefit from it.
I don't tend to like wands. I have a fuzzy. Thanasis, would a wand suit you?
Yeah, I'll use it.
Alright. So we'll give Thanasis the wand if no one else disagrees. And if no one else wants the scrolls, Moriel will just put them in his backpack for later.
Lord Moriel,
Yes, Hex.
the chaos sounding scroll of Thunderwave. It piques my interest. Do you mind if I take a look?
Absolutely. You can have the scroll, Hex.
Much appreciated. And Hicks will read the scroll.
And is indeed a scroll of Thunderwave at its base level.
That is fine.
I don't mind if you want to spend the time to identify 10 minutes. That'll give me some time to look over here. I got a feeling that maybe there's like a secret passageway or something. I once knew a bloke had a bit of a limp, and he said that if you search accurately, you might find something. He told me this one story about he opened a passageway, and a massive boulder started rolling down, almost threatening to squish him. So anyway, I'm gonna do what he taught me, and Elba, Steve, give me a hand.
So where specifically are you looking for a hidden passage? In the bookshelves?
Just over here with these bookshelves, yeah.
You telling me? Sorry.
There you go.
You're telling me you want me to help you look for a secret passage where a boulder could come out of it?
Well, I mean, we don't. It's metaphor, like, okay, you know what? It's fine. I'll just look myself.
Roll investigation.
Fuck it. I'll help you.
And with
That's
advantage.
fun a bit. I've told already.
Steve would go and just start pulling books out. See if one clicks.
Got an 18.
18. So Albert, Steve just starts pulling books on one shelf and just randomly pulling them out. Nothing happens. You take a little bit more care on the shelf that you're looking at. Again, pull a few books. You look for ones that may stand out, maybe different colours, different sizes, the heavier looking books. Spend about 10-15 minutes doing that and nothing happens. There's no secret passages. You kick up a bit of dust, get a little bit of a tickle in your throat, but no secret passages, unfortunately.
Steve pulls out the book on the end, sticks his hand behind the book, and just scoops the whole shelf onto the floor. Nope. Nothing there.
Oh, Steve. Oh. Well, maybe no secret passage, but I think it'd be wise if once we've dealt with all this, someone from the town comes in and collects some of these books, and maybe some of them should be put away so as not to end up in the wrong hands.
I can see to that. I'll do that. Make a note of it.
Well, if we're done, let's move out, carry on.
So did they cast Identify or? Will we
No,
I don't
Moriel's
believe so.
going to wait. He feels it'll be more pertinent to wait until we're done in case we find anything more.
Yeah. Same with the comprehend languages. No sense burning it now, just in case we run into something we need to comprehend.
Fair call, fair call.
Steve's going to look for a particularly big book on the ground. Hopefully, there's a bigger than normal book.
Easily enough to find one.
He's going to rip 5 pages out, just roll them up into scrolls, and then stick them back in the drawers into the book.
Okay. Duly noted. I mean, I'm pretty sure the big pile of books on the floor is going to give away that something's not right here, but okay.
No, it's more of the fact that they'll be like, oh, sweet, our scrolls are still here. Oh, no, they're not.
So move yourselves. Don't go any further than the stairs at this point. Captain, get everyone in the same place so we can move the in-game screen for the viewers. So you tell me, you're obviously you want to head into that main room, I take it?
Hicks hangs back as everyone walks through, and as they do, she launches firebolt at the bookshelves. 1, 2, 3. And then she steps out the doors and shuts them.
Oh, in that office?
In that office we were just in, correct.
Okay, no worries. Done. As far as you know, did you hang around to see if they caught, or you just fired them and left?
I fired 3 and made sure at least one of them caught before I left.
It seemed like they started to smolder. They didn't catch fire like you would expect, however.
Okay, they were.
But things were starting to smoke and smolder. It is fairly dampish down here. Like, it's not tinder dry or anything like that.
Yeah, and the walls are concrete and damp and stuff too,
Yep.
I imagine. So, all good.
So you move back into the chamber with the 3 pillars, and Captain, as you move further forward and head towards the stairs, you find yourselves looking into that room. Large table, now the candles which were lit there from the previous day are now no longer burning, as obviously they must have been just regular candles. The rest of the torches are still going, however, as they have been deemed to be somewhat magical and are still burning at the same consistent light and rate they were before. If you want to all move yourselves within that room, if that's where you have decided to head, please do so. Place yourselves and come back a little bit, Elba. That's like a railing. I'll put you back up there. So this is a railing. Along here is a railing. The reason Elba was able to go over it, because you can actually climb over it and drop down. Down here is a drop of about 10 feet. The stairwell at the corner. Just so you're aware. So place yourselves whereabouts in that room you wish to be. Yep, it's all good, mate.
He's done. No.
He fell off. Broke an ankle. So the ceiling in this room is nearly 40 foot high. The bookshelves run floor to ceiling all around the edge of the room. At the southern end of the room, the staircase leading down, and in the centre of the room, seated around the table, you assume is where most of these other cultists and that came from. You can see that there are random papers strewn across the table, a few cups with half-drunk liquid, maybe mead or something. Welcome, Raiders, what's up? So this would have been another encounter had you not fought your previous encounter in this room prior, which happened to gain the attention of everyone in this room. So it is now clear. Again, the books are of various languages and titles. Nothing really stands out in the titles here. Again, it's more mundane titles. These seem to be more like your average library book than anything else. Just random stories, histories, and things like that. But you have a stairwell leads down about 10 feet. You can see at the bottom there a set of double doors, and you can see another small staircase leading into a hallway of sorts, but it leads into darkness. The light sort of disappears around here, and it's quite dark further down there. I need you all at this point to make a perception check for me, please. We got a natural 20 from Bernasis. Need everyone over a 15. God, there's some low rolls there. Jesus. So we got a 4 from Elba, 8 from Hex, and a 2 from Moriel. 12. So the only person that notices this at first is Bernasis.
I got 15.
Where's your roll, Steve? Your roll's not there.
Rolled actual dice.
Are you rolling real dice? Okay. 14 for you. So, 15, so you'd hear it too. You can hear a low whisper. It goes quiet and then it starts up again. And seems to repeat.
First it was a heartbeat, and now it's whispers. I hear dissonant whispers. Stops, starts. It's back again. Anyone else?
Maybe Higgs is trying to kill us, using that whisper spell that he used to kill the other thing.
You're so funny, Steve. If I wanted you dead, you would be dead.
Oh, I can hear voices.
I think maybe we're getting closer to the cause of all this.
Hicks leans to Bernasis and says,
I think he hears voices because he's fucked up in the head.
Perhaps we might need to take care of that later.
Perhaps.
Now, heartbeat comes again. This time all of you can hear it. Very faint. Very deep.
Steve will go to the railing and lean over to see if he can hear it coming down the hallway.
With your perception check, it definitely seems like it's coming from that direction, possibly. Extremely hard to tell. It sounds like it's coming from everywhere, but it just, as you lean over and sort of lean that way, it seems like it could be that direction. It's 10 feet down to the floor below.
Damn, wish I was a monk. I could do monk shit over the rail.
You are a rogue. You could do rogue shit over the rail. I mean, you are a Loxodon that weighs. You are a Loxodon that weighs like 300 pounds. So.
Yeah, good thud.
A heartbeat we can hear audibly from here is a bit concerning. Possibly something very big.
Yeah, I thought that was just my own.
Not this time, Captain.
Alright, well, I guess, unless we want to search for, secret passageway again, guess be on guard and head on down towards the daunting noise.
But seems to have stopped again.
Steve's gonna grab the railing with his trunk and try and lower himself down.
Yeah, you make a athletics check for me. No, athletics, because see how graceful it is. I mean, strength. I'd say you've definitely got the strength to do it because you can lift like a reasonable, like 50 pounds with your trunk. So, just an athletics to see how graceful it is or how clumsy. 7. You grab the railing okay, and you sort of climb over, and as you start to lower yourself down, for some reason you let you go trunk thing. Oh yeah, no, pass easy, just drop that 10 feet. and you just miss your footing as you hit the ground, and you don't twist your ankle or anything like that, but your knee gives way underneath you, and you twack your knee against a stone. Sort of gives you that almost like a Charlie horse kind of feeling in your knee. Gives you real, sort of tweaks it slightly. I mean, you might have a bit of a limp for a little while, but other than that, you don't take any damage.
He's gonna quickly look left and right to see if anyone was watching, and see bloody Captain Morgan.
Yeah,
down
the
there.
captain
Alright.
was definitely there, and he saw that.
Shit.
I mean, no passive. He was right there. He saw you drop down and land awkwardly, and sort of look around as if to say, "I'm good." Not so much.
Vanassus is going to fly up and then fly over the railing where Steve went.
Yep.
You are perhaps the most ineffective rogue I've ever met, Steve.
So, move yourselves to where you're going to be. As far as don't go any further than here at this point, if that's where you're going to go. Holy Jesus!
There's many of those imp creatures.
There's some strange miniature creatures running around in this place.
It's those crazy whispers, that's what it is.
It must
Yeah,
be.
that's the demonic noise we're hearing.
Only Steve can hear it, though.
So, team, decide which way you're heading. Are you going to head down the hall, or are you going to check this room?
What are we doing, Lord Reaper?
Do you want to... We can be thorough, or as Albus said, get the job done and get the fuck out of here. Either way, I don't mind. What does the group want to do?
Stick to my word and say, let's get a job done and get the fuck out of here.
Let's check the doors just in case something comes behind us if we head down the passage.
I agree with Benassus. We do not want to get jumped from behind. Only rogues do it in the rear.
Vanessa steps away from Steve.
You hear that, roguey rogue? Only rogues do it in the rear, mate.
The captain will open the door very tentatively in a small gap. So try and do it stealthily if possible to see through.
Okay, so don't open the doors just yet. There's a small gap. You won't be able to see a whole lot if you just open a small gap. The room is lit, but dimly. There's a bit of a... It's got a bit of a chemically smell to it as you open the door. You don't really see anything. Looks like maybe a table or two in the center from what you can sort of glean as you peek around. A desk in one corner with some bits and pieces on it, but that's about all you can see.
Seems to be safe. I don't know. Something smells. Like... I don't know, napalm. Whatever that is. He's just gonna open the door.
Open the doors. And indeed, as you open the doors and look in, it looks like a lab of sorts. So yeah, a couple of tables there. Across the tables doesn't seem there's nothing on the tables. There's a few stains on the wood, a few burn marks here and there. The desk in the far corner has our chemical supplies on it. There's a series of flasks sitting on the desk. In the corner there's a large cauldron, and it has a bit of a greenish glow coming from it, and it's bubbling away. The small fire burning underneath. The fire looks magical. It's not giving off any smoke, and it's slowly bubbling. You hear it sort of bubbling and boiling away there. But it has a very strong chemical smell in this room as you walk in. Mr. Siddiq, of research.
Birdman or Lord Reaper, do you want to have a look at this cauldron?
No. But if you guys find anything useful you can use, by all means.
Nasus is going to investigate the table.
Yeah, that's what Steve's done.
So you're all sort of hanging around the table. Elba, you're in the centre there. The other two remaining outside. Can I get Elba, Hex, Steve, and Bonasis to make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Lovely.
Would it be okay, Mr. DM, is if they're doing it, the captain just goes to these stairs and tries to look down where that is?
Yeah, just go to the edge of the stairs and have a nosy. So you have a 14 to beat. Elba fails. X fails. What was yours, Steve?
7.
Steve fails. Bonasis, you succeed. Bonasis, as you sort of breathe in, you get a strange taste when you breathe in deeply, but you don't seem affected. The other three, however, as you breathe in, as you're sort of standing in this room, it's like you get almost a bitter taste in your mouth and the back of your throat. Almost brings you to gag a little bit. You three are poisoned.
Lovely.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're feeling a little sick. I believe if you are poisoned, you have a disadvantage on ability checks.
Attack rolls and ability checks.
Attack rolls and ability checks. There you go. You're not sure how long this particular is going to last. You're not sure exactly what is happening to you at the moment, but you feel a little nauseous just being in this room. However,
This smells intoxicating.
as you were searching the desk, you noticed a number of empty vials, and this liquid's being contained in one or two of the other vials. Same coloured liquid that's in the cauldron, sitting on the desk there.
I was going to be coughing, splat, and running out of the room.
Okay, so you leave the room.
Yeah.
You are poisoned. So just bear that in mind. So you have disadvantage on attacks and saves until either
ability checks.
and attack rolls.
Yep.
So the other three, I will get you to make Arcana checks if you are proficient. If you're not proficient, you cannot make it.
I'm not proficient.
Rolling rubbish again.
11. 11's DC 10 was what you needed. 11. Hex. Mainly, your DC was slightly lower, mainly because of what this liquid is and your particular skill set, and some other things. You've seen this before. You've used it before, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It is a vial, 2 vials of alchemist fire.
Ooh, lovely. It smells good on a night with a dinner out with someone you hate.
No worries, Siddiq.
I have to admit, I'm a little unsettled by how excited you are, but if you know what it is, maybe you should take them, Max.
When you toss one of these into the fray, it explodes in a minor fiery explosion. Are you sure you don't want to keep one? They can be rather chaotic.
I might want to see that. And he's sort of like staring off into the distance. That would be kind of interesting, I have to admit.
Yeah, she picks one up, takes one for herself, and hands one to Bonasis.
So it'll be in D&D Beyond if you want to mark it down. 1 flask of alchemist fire each. The chemical taste and feeling in the back of your guys' throat is getting worse the longer you stay in this room.
Time to
Steve,
go.
Yeah.
Steve starts to back off. He's like, "Oh, I don't know why I came over here. I don't know anything about alchemy."
Yeah, and like I said, this chemical taste and acid, a sort of a real acidic feeling in the back of your throat, like you've retched and vomited up a bit of stomach bile, and it's just sitting right in the back of your throat. It's very distracting and quite horrible.
Right, let's get out of here.
Good call.
Not go through walls.
So Captain Moore, as you sort of take a couple of tentative steps down the stairwell, You hear the whispers again, and as you peer down the hallway, you can't actually see it on this map just yet, but you can see in the distance a really red glow, almost like candlelight, red candlelight flickering in the distance. Can't make out quite what's there because it's a little far to look through this. It's a real sort of dark patch before it hits that light again, so it's quite of a dim glow. But you can see that this passage carries on into like an extremely darkened patch of tunnel before it reaches that light sector again.
Well, I don't know about you, but the light of the end of the tunnel I always thought to be white. That's that doesn't look good at all. Mr. Moriel, I think our best bet is whatever's causing this is coming through that door.
Yes. Seems we are getting to the light towards the end of the tunnel, as they say. I think we're getting towards the end of our journey.
Whispers
So
start
let's
to come
prepare.
again as you're talking.
So let's prepare. Let's be ready. I say we don't go in as a group in case there's any more that are able to cast that fireball.
Good call.
If we need to be separated, so be it. Any heals required by the group, I'll have to be near you.
So about this point, all of you now hear, you can almost make out words in the whispers. Moriel, with your experience and your background, you know this is some form of necromantic rite. You recognize some of the incantation, but not most of it. It's in a mixture of infernal and celestial and another language that you're not sure of. And it just keeps repeating constantly.
Vanessa's is going to grab out the scroll of comprehend languages and read from it.
Now, just refresh me. I'm pretty sure that's for all languages, not just written.
I have no idea. Let's have a look.
Give me a second here.
Understand of any spoken language that you hear.
So only you can understand what's being said. And it is indeed an incantation. It is talking of raising a god of some sort. You've never heard the name of the deity before. Roll a history check for me, Onassis.
20. Dirty 20.
Maybe you have. Deity, you've heard in some of the teachings you've read and books you've read, you're a learned individual. And the name is Modius, Lord of Darkness, is heard frequently under the whispers.
Summon Asmodeus.
I gather, Lord Moriel, I understood a little bit of the celestial there, but that was about it. You're picking that up, are you, Benassus?
Yeah, this scroll, they're trying to summon Asmodeus. We better hurry it.
Then I know why I am here, and we need to stop this before it's released.
Depends where you come from. Some of us pronounce it Asmodeus.
In other
Amadeus,
words,
Amadeus.
he's a bad god in many lights.
Or a good god, depending on how you look at it.
Exactly. But
It'll be
if
bad
they're
news for us if we don't hurry.
yes, time. We need to stop this and stop it now before they complete. Let's move.
Just before we move, I am feeling rather unwell after being in the last room. Anyone else?
Yep. Yep.
Feel like I've had too much rum, but apart from that, feel like I've had a good night on the booze.
The captain, hearing that, is gonna whip. Sorry, Steve, you go.
Said or a bad night. Good night or a bad night. That's all I said.
The captain is gonna whip into his satchel and pull out 2 different potions, and say, give one to Hex and give one to Alba, and say, drink that and make you feel better if you're feeling shit.
What are the potions?
Potions of lesser restoration.
Indeed.
And
As
work,
you,
DM?
it does.
Thank you, Captain.
Indeed. As you drink the potion, you are feeling much better. The acidic taste dissipates, and your stomach settles.
Much better. Thank you, Captain.
Yes, most appreciated. Blessings of Hex upon you.
Only whiskey.
Okay.
So here we going in.
Well, Mr. Reaper here said probably best not to bunch up in case we get hit by a fireball. So I think split shields go with a couple of people, and then the other shields go with second line of people. Go in 2 separate groups, one after the other.
Okay. So since I'm able to do some healing, and Vanassus is able to do the same, I suggest Vanassus and myself are in 2 separate groups.
Now, also suggest that Mr. Alba and myself, 2 separate groups, we be at the front.
Yep. We can be the armor.
So, let's say Captain, myself, Steve one group, Alba, Vanassus, Hex the second.
Agreed.
Fine by me.
I will say, if there's necromancy, then some of the spells that I'm able to do, they'll be able to do. So don't let them touch you, if you can. Alba, Vanassus, Hex, you go first. Captain, Steve, and myself will go in second. You split to the right. If there's a right, we'll split to the left if we can go left.
So put yourselves in the position, just in the order. Don't go any further forward than that just yet. So who's going first?
Albert's team.
So, first team, move forward.
I'm gonna float 10 feet in the air.
And just hold your position there at the moment. So I'll just move. We've got a bit of a bunch up here, so we'll move Elba and X in there just for the time being. Everyone else move forward. Just come in and just wait where you land. I'll just give you a quick move. Just so you can all see what's going on. Right. Yep. If you end up moving back, you can just move forward again. So what you basically see is what you see. right here. As you step in, here, in between each one of these individuals that's standing around this dark red glowing pentagram drawn in blood on the floor. The red glow is from the red candles. Large chamber is 50-foot domed ceiling. In the center, you got 6 figures in robes, chanting in a whisper over a giant corpse. One also standing in the center. His eyes meet yours, Alba and Hex, as you first enter, and he just grins. Broken, rotten teeth greets you with this grin. The power in here is almost palpable. Like you could, the air itself seems thick with darkened energy. You can feel it. You more so than anybody, Moriel. The necromantic energy here is just so strong. It's unusually strong. And with that, we will roll initiative. In just a second.
We're saying the first group went in first, and the second group is still beyond that, eh?
Yeah, so we'll all roll initiative.
So telepathically, I'm reverting or revealing to Moriel what I see.
100%. So you do that. So we'll roll. Did we get initiatives there? Yep. Captain Moore, we're still waiting on. Oh, that was loud. And Steve. I need you to roll this from your sheet, Drax. Or tell me what you got in dice, and I'll do it for you. There we go. So, as the cultist looks up at you, X and Alba, as the rest of you start following up behind this cultist, starts to move. This thing in the center, this large corpse, not unlike what you've seen earlier in this place, starts to stir. This guy breaks his position and moves straight into you, Alba, and makes an attack. It's with a 16 to hit. Does that hit you?
Sir.
That misses? No problem. The whispers remain, but they become quieter as only the center guy seems to be making the incantation as the rest of them stop and turn. Hex, it is now your turn. As you watch this cultist charge into Alba, making an attack. Alba defends with his shield.
Hex is strategically placed behind Alba. She does not move. Using one sorcery point, I'm going to cast a spell without any vocal or somatic components, therefore I do not have to move at all to give away my positioning. And I cast acid. I'm using a second sorcery point to change the fireball to an acid ball. I'm putting an acid ball dead center. There. 20-foot sphere. They will all have to make dexterity saves, those within the sphere.
They will indeed. That'll be almost everybody in that room. Easy enough done. Do 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 do. What's the DC?
That is 15.
15, that's one failure. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to roll a couple here. 19 on the second. 13 on the third. 16 on the fourth. 17, that's those guys. This guy has slightly different stats. Fails with a 7.
So those that fail take 26 acid damage.
Success.
And those that pass take 13 acid damage.
This guy screams and bubbles in pain and dies on the spot as the acid rips through his clothing and skin, as does this guy here. This one's not looking too healthy. Sorry. That one, right. This guy is not looking good. The big creature in the center of the room seems almost unfazed by it.
So Hicks will say, "Looks like the big one's on you, boys." And that is it for Hicks.
Is it for Hicks?
Actually, positioning, she will move to the back of the room. Now that's it.
Right, that is it. As you finish your turn, Elba and probably Hex as well, actually all of you as you're entering the room, those who can see the back of the room, you notice the ghostly figure appear here and here. Elba, you would see one here and here also. This one here. Nope. So it moves into you as well, Elba, being right there. You've seen this one of these creatures before in the embalming room. It attacks with an 11, which I believe misses.
Yeah, misses.
So
So I got a big armor class.
yeah, so you were lucky. It doesn't seem to reach out to touch you. It's cold, but doesn't seem to affect you like it did before. Next up, this creature slowly stands, and it is looking nasty. It picks up a piece of rubble from inside this room and hurls it at Elba, who's right in the front. With a 29 to hit, natural 20. Doing 79 points of bludgeoning damage. As this piece of rock that's in this broken down chamber reaches down and slams it into your chest.
Well, he's down. Oh, down.
Also, striking this guy, killing him instantly. Slamming him into you, dropping you to unconsciousness with a single blow.
Bloody heck.
So Hex and the rest of you, as you start coming through this darkened tunnel, you see the giant stand up, hurl this piece of rock into this cultist and into Elba, splattering the cultist with the impact between him and Elba, rendering Elba unconscious, dropping him to the ground, even forcing him back 5 feet, sliding towards you. Elba, it is now your turn. I need you to make your first death save, please. Vanassus, you're on board.
How do we do that again, sorry?
Just on your sheet, up at the top right, if you reduce your hit points to 0, you should see the saves come up.
Yep. Oh, they're in there.
Yep. So just click on the death save, and it should roll it. If it doesn't roll it, just roll a d20 with your custom roll.
So I clicked on it. It's saying failures, successes, healing, and all that. There's no dice here.
So just go to the bottom left of your character sheet and just roll a d20.
Yep.
And you're looking for something higher than a 10.
Okay. Got me to do it to myself? Like
Yeah,
last time?
private roll it and keep it to yourself. Don't tell anyone whether it's a success or a save. But if you're looking for a success, you need higher than a 10.
Okay.
So just mark it down. Yeah, three successes will bring you back to 1 hit point. 3 failures will have you die. So just mark that down for us. Vanessa, you're
Yep.
up with Captain Moore on board.
So Benasis is still 10 feet off the floor.
Yep.
He's going to fly in this far.
And you'll see to your left a ghostly figure. And you'll just pass this ghostly figure as well. Almost probably startle you as you come around the corner. But just out of reach, does not get an attack of opportunity on you.
Yep. And right on top of the giant, I'm going to cast Shatter at
Shatter.
2nd level.
What
is a
is the
10-foot radius sphere.
10-foot radius sphere on top of the giant?
Yep. Constitution saving throw.
Not a
Disadvantage for
problem.
anything made out of stone, crystal, or metal.
No problem. So we'll make a Constitution save for the cultist first. Fail with a 9. The giant. 15.
It's 15 is what it needed. So on a fail, it takes half damage.
So what is the damage as the shatter? What does the shatter do? It just echoes out or drops stone on something?
It's a thunder spell, so it makes
Okay.
a loud ringing sound.
It makes a loud ringing thunderous sound.
That is 15 points at full damage.
15 points of full damage, no problem. I don't have a thunder sound, damn it. We'll use this. Close enough. So 15 full damage. The cultist himself is not looking good. The giant taking only half of that seems pretty okay. But nonetheless, they both take damage.
Right. And I am just going to, how much more have we got? Move sort of this way.
That way.
That'll be me.
That'll be you. As you do so, this creature moves in behind you, raises up to meet you, and reaches out a ghostly hand. Again with a 9 to hit, missing. Not having much luck is the poor wraith. It looks at you, unfeeling, death. Basically, it's cold. This cultist here now moves down to the wall here. There's nothing. Captain Moore, you're up. Steve, you're on board, and a couple of turns after Captain Moore.
Okay, the captain is going to charge and to there, over. Well, I mean, he could go that way, and then just right there. Basically,
Put yourself there. You can move.
as he's running past, he's gonna call back to Moriel and Hex, and just say, "You look after Elba." And he's gonna pull out his magical long sword. He's gonna make 2 attacks at the ghostly figure thing.
No problem. Attack away.
First one for a Lovely. 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, for 7 damage for the first one.
7 damage, not a problem. You remember from previously your mundane weapon did very little damage. This weapon, however, seems to do the damage intended.
And the second attack is a dirty 20
That hits.
for a total of, that's not bad, 14 damage. So 7, 14, so 21 damage.
21 total, not a problem.
And
It
then,
moves and weaves, but takes the damage.
as for that, the captain's gonna turn on his back foot and spin round, use action surge to make another 2 slashing whirlwind attacks
Go for it.
for 21.
That hits.
And the second attack to hit is 23.
Captain's redeeming himself tonight. Both hits. Roll your damage.
Fantastic. 8. And a lovely 12.
20 more slashing damage. Looking pretty rough. Trying to hold itself together, but it's struggling. Is that your turn, Captain?
That is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to stand there, and if I could try and position myself so that he would attack me instead of Elba, I would.
No
If not,
problem.
all good.
It's now the Cult Fanatic's turn. You've dealt with these guys before. They're not nice at all. This one is going to... Firstly, spiritual weapon raises above you, X. And it doesn't roll the damage for me. God damn it. So what's the damage of that? 1d8 plus spellcasting modifier. We will roll that. Roll to hit first. Won't even bother. That misses. That's a sad roll.
That's fine by me. I am squishy.
But the weapon is there nonetheless. As an action, I need Hex. I need you to roll a wisdom save, please. DC 11.
That would be a 2 with a
Natural 1. You get a one-word command in your mind saying run.
It doesn't say where to.
It says it's only one word command, so it just says run.
Okay.
So the direction,
Understood.
the implication is to run away, but the
Yeah.
direction is up to you. I'll leave that to your discretion, but you simply get the instruction to run.
Understood.
That is its turn. Next up, this particular race, with your movement speed is flight. Moves to there. Captain Moore, I need you to make a wisdom save, please.
A lovely natural 1.
Natural 1. You are gripped with fear as this creature stares into your soul. You are now frightened and have disadvantage on attacks while in the sight of your fear. You must use your action to move as far away from it as possible. Which is that one there.
Will
Yep.
do. Will do.
Steve, it is now your turn. Marielle on board.
Can we still hear the whisper?
The whispers are still continuing.
Okay, I'm gonna
It's only like one or two of them doing it, but they're still continuing.
move to there. And then I am going to come back. So
Watch the chat for inspirations and lucks, guys. We've got a few coming up.
So right about there,
Yes.
I'm going to yell "shut up" and cast silence.
Silence.
Yes. Which is shadow magic spell.
What does the spell say?
For the duration, no sound can be created within the 20-foot radius sphere from the point you choose.
And you just remark it so I can put the sphere out.
So literally right in the middle of those three cultists.
So about there.
About there. So any creature or object is in
Silence.
there is
No worries.
they're no longer able to cast spell that
Requires a vocal component. No worries. The whispers persist, however, even though those three are now silent. One thing you do notice, the whispers still persist.
10-minute concentration.
Okay, so you're concentrating 10 minutes. No worries. Well done. The shadow magic as well. I forgot you had that.
I don't use it because I don't have any of the fucking mats required to using those spells.
No worries. Just remember, because you're poisoned, you have a disadvantage on ability checks and saving throw attacks and ability checks.
Yeah, I know.
Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Moriel, you're on board. You're up.
Just had a question.
Yes.
Would that interrupt the magic weapon or whatever it is, or any of the spells?
It's already been cast.
Okay, they're not concentration spells.
The spiritual weapons, not no.
What about the command or the other thing?
It's already been issued.
Okay, so yes, just
Yeah.
wondering. No,
I
funny.
do believe.
They're chanting for it.
Yeah, if he was
So, yeah.
if he was concentrating on it, would say yes, but command is not a concentration spell.
Even concentrating, there's no vocal component. They just have to be focused.
Shield of Faith is, and so is whole person, vocal, somatic, and material.
Yeah, to cast it.
Oh, to cast it, yeah, but they're not
concentrate,
maintaining
yeah,
it. It's not a
concentrate,
ritual, yeah.
correct.
Sweet.
Exactly what he said. I forget these things. So, Moriel, you are up, sir.
Moriel, seeing what is going on, looks at his new staff and waves it in a sort of a vertical, horizontal motion. What he wants to do is cast Wall of Fire as 60 foot.
So, because you're attuned to it, you have attuned to it, you have no idea what it does. You got an inkling. Roll an intelligence check for me. I would say the DC will be DC of 13. Depending on how much you beat or miss will determine the length of your
Fuck off.
firewall. Do you have a luck or an inspiration, sir?
I do, but
Up to you.
that's the Inspire, right?
Inspire is a D10. Luck is a reroll.
Actually, I do have a luck.
So reroll it if you wish. Better, 11. Still not quite enough, but the wall of fire does ignite. Not as long as you had hoped. So where did you wish to start it from?
It's 60 foot, correct? So I want it essentially to cover all of that.
Yeah, just mark where you wanted to start the start of it to be. It's just a 60-foot line.
From there to there.
So it starts there. It moves. Failed by 2. It's not quite 60 foot. It's only barely 20 feet, but it's there. It does catch the giant just. So with the wall of fire, you will
They need to make a
Dex save.
save of 14.
Dex save of 14.
Everyone within 10 foot of it, so that
Yep.
includes
So
this guy
that's a skeleton.
and maybe that.
That guy's just a skeleton on the floor. That's on the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
I didn't realise.
this guy will have to make it, and the Wraith, he'd probably have to make it too.
The fire's only this from that side.
From that side, okay. So the Wraith will
Yeah,
not.
because
So 18 for him.
Yep. Which he saves.
But reaction for this guy. Nope, we don't. He can't because he is silenced in. $18 from him as well, so they're both saves. So half,
so they get
half damage.
half of 26, which is 13.
Nice. It's enough to put the cultist down. He ignites in flame, his robes catch alight, and he burns. Cannot hear him scream as the silence prevents any noise from coming out of the circle. The giant seems to catch a bit of flame. He doesn't seem overly concerned. You know he's undead. You know he probably doesn't feel anything at this point. Is that your turn, Mario?
No, bonus action. I am going to cast spiritual weapon.
No problem. Where would you like to put it, sir?
Here.
Spiritual weapon. Make your attack with it.
20 to hit.
It hits.
For 6 force damage.
6 force damage. This guy's not looking good either. The bludgeoning damage, or force damage, coming down from the spiritual weapon, slamming in the back of the head. He's not looking healthy. Is that you?
Moriel would then like to what have I got? So about there. Just move out of the way.
Alright, move yourself
So
to where you want to be.
there,
No worries.
so about there.
No worries. It is this guy's turn. Attack of opportunity from your spiritual weapon, please, as he moves away towards Captain Moore.
For a 23 to hit.
It hits.
For a further 7 points of force damage.
It is enough. As he goes to step away, the spiritual weapon slams down on him, crushing his skull, sending him skidding to the floor. Next up is this guy, Captain Moore. Once again, 16 to a hit.
It does not, thank God.
It does not. No worries. He moves through you. However, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw, please, as he moves through you, chilling you to the bone.
23.
Take half damage, 16 points of psychic damage as he moves through you and your mind. Moody! What's up?
Ouch.
Hex, you're up.
Okay, Hex's instruction was to run.
Direction was non-specific. The creature has
Correct.
died, however, but you still. Does that mean that the effect is no longer?
That is a good point.
It was cast.
I do not know.
It's not
I have
concentration.
Not used that one too often.
I would say this turn you would have to follow the
I have
command.
to follow
Next
command,
turn
yes.
you'd be free of any such command.
How many creatures are left in that space near the giant? I can't tell under the purple. Was it just one and the giant?
You've got the giant here you can see, and you can got another cultist here. You can see over in the corners there's a wraith here, and now one here as well.
Okay. Hex will move full 30 feet out of the room.
So if you move back out of the room, it will actually take you out of the room.
It does too.
And the good thing about it is we can do this now and show where you are.
And then, once she reaches her 30 feet, and I guess the instruction ends. Well, it doesn't say she can't do anything, so
you can still
she's
attack.
going to-
You can still. It just uses up your movement. You can still attack and do everything else.
She's going to. Now I have to move back to the other map so I can see. Because I can see right through the space, correct?
Yes, you certainly can. You should be able to just scroll out now that you've seen it.
It doesn't. It blacks the room out for
Oh,
me.
it does? Okay. Oh, yeah, because there's a wall there. Tell you what, move yourself back into the room just so you can see.
Yeah, just say I'm 30 feet away. That's
And we'll just put you 30 feet away. Just so you can see that portion of the map.
With the spectral creature that just moved through Captain Moore, I'm going to cast just a stock. I say just a stock. A firebolt at it.
Roll to hit.
18 to hit.
Hits.
Takes 12 fire damage. And as a bonus action, I am going to be converting sorcery points
No
to spell
worries.
slot points. That is it for hits.
Noted. It is now this race turn. It moves into you, Bernasis. Firstly, you'll need to make a wisdom saving throw as it stares you right in the eyes, and its gaze is almost horrifying just to even look at. That is a failure. You were also frightened. Remember, being frightened, you have disadvantage on attacks and ability checks, or just attacks while you can see it, basically. I think it's just attacks. Double check, guys, on your character sheet. It'll tell you in the conditions.
Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while
There we go.
the source of fear is in its sight.
So make note of that, guys, and this creature then reaches out a ghostly hand. 15, does that hit you, Bernasis?
No.
No, not doing well with the hits tonight, guys. Stone Giant's turn.
Did the wraith move through the firewall?
Yes, it did. Did not appear to be affected by it.
Okay, sweet.
Stone
Sorry,
Giant.
was it that it moved through the fire and wasn't affected by? Is that what was happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
You saw it literally float through it, and it just didn't seem to be bothered by the fire at all. The giant in this thing looks at Captain Moore, picks up another chunk of rubble, fires it towards you, missing with a 12, slamming into the wall just to your right hand side there, and then clambers forward and gets right in front of you, and with its second attack slams down on you with a massive club. Again, missing. You dodge just out of the way as the club slams down on the ground beside you.
The captain's probably screaming at the wraith next to him and dodging at the same time.
It is Elba's turn. Your second death save, please, Elba. Again, keep it to yourself. Looking for something 10 or higher. Mark it down. Remember, if you get a natural 20, that is the equivalent of becoming conscious. If you get a natural 1, that's 2 failed death saves. Vanassus, you're up. Captain Moore on board. And JJ, whatever happens, just keep it yourself. But if you become conscious or die, DM me in either Discord or Skype, dude. Probably Discord might be easier.
So Banassus is going to start screaming. And and then he's going to turn around.
Yeah, I think you've got to use your action to run away, or you'll use your movement to run away as well.
Yep. And then he's going to fly as far as he can in this direction. Roll.
So you're going to take... Oh, you're out there. So you're going to take 2 attacks of opportunity as you leave.
Yep.
The first one is a 19 to hit.
Yep.
Which does 27 points of necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Another Constitution saving throw as well, please. This will determine 20 you saved, so you're good. You don't lose the maximum hit points. Second attack, dirty 20.
Yep.
For 20 points necrotic damage, and another con save, please.
Down.
So you would make the con save anyway, just as you go down. I'll do it this way.
23.
You'll be fine. So Vanassus flies out through the corridor, and you Hex, you would see him as he flies through and just hits the deck in front of you. That is your turn, Vanassus. So next up is this guy. Turns on you, Moriel. I need you to make a wisdom save, please, as he stares at you with the ghostly sockets of once where eyes were. Total of the 8. That'd be definitely a failure. You're also frightened unless you have an immunity to it. It's the same thing for you, and it'll use its reach out and.
Can I use an inspo on that roll?
You can. That's what they're there for. So inspiration is a D10.
Full 10.
Full 10.
So that's
Still
18.
18. Well done. That'll be a save then. So you do not need to be frightened, but you will still take this attack. 13, I believe, will miss you.
13 will miss.
So you do not need to worry about that. Next up is this final cultist here. And he's looking a little worried. Just backs into the far corner of the room, away from everybody. Captain Moore, you're up. You are frightened.
Captain.
So you have disadvantage on your attacks.
And have to spend action to.
Your movement would, to run away from it. You can't go closer to it. You have to move away from it. So I would say for you can either go back down the hall or into the room.
Yep.
Which would have you run either way. You're going to get attacks of opportunity as you leave.
Yeah, that's fine. But I have to spend my action. So I have to dash.
Don't have to dash. You just have to move your movement, your entire movement
great.
as far away as possible from the source of your fear.
Gonna jump over unconscious Alba and just keep running, screaming.
Right, so your first attack of opportunity comes from the Wraith. 17 to hit.
That hits.
21 points of necrotic damage.
Can he, sorry DM, is he able to use his action, even though he has to move as far as he can he use his action to disengage so he doesn't take hits of opportunity?
No. I would say no. Because it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction to run, just to run.
To run. No, that's right. Just when he said dash, I thought maybe he meant disengage.
Yeah. So 21 points of necrotic damage, and you'll need to make a con save as well, which will be a disadvantage because you are frightened. Because you can still see it even down the hallway.
Oof.
That is a failure. So you lose 21 points of your max hit points as well.
May I please use an inspiration?
You can.
Fantastic. That's a D10, yes?
Actually, no, you can't. It's on a disadvantage roll. I'm not going to allow them on disadvantage rolls. If it was a straight roll and you failed, 100%. I'll say on
Damn
a
it.
disadvantage roll like that, I'd say no. I'm not going to be
easy.
too generous for those, I think.
Too easy.
So
Did I lose
21, yeah, 21 max HP. So your max HP
Okay.
is reduced by 21.
Two.
Your second attack of opportunity comes from the Great Club as you run away, which luckily for you, I think misses with a 13. That misses? Cool.
Definitely does.
This wraith is now going to move.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
Just before, because I still have an action left, yes?
Oh, you do? Sorry, yes.
Can I just take the dodge action?
You can. You can ready yourself for the next attack, which would give you a straight roll on any... Well, it won't give you a straight roll on any attack against you, but... What a dodge action just prepares you for your next attack and
Yeah,
gives you advantage on saving throws, I believe?
No, it just gives the attacker disadvantage.
Disadvantage, okay. Fair call. Really noted. Is that all you want to do? Bonus
that is
action?
all I can do, yeah. Can't really do... Oh, actually...
You've got second wind, I believe, isn't that bonus action?
Yes, that's definitely a great time to use this.
just checking.
Thank you for that. That's very kind of you.
So, that's your turn.
That is my turn. A total of...
Right,
Great.
so Steve, this other wraith passes through you and its friend coming from the room. I need you to make a constitution save firstly, please. It's a save. You'll only take 18 points of psychic damage. It's either the full 32. Then reaches out its ghostly hand, places it on your shoulder, or attempts to. 15, which I believe is your AC.
Yep.
So you will take 21 points of necrotic damage, and you'll need to make another con save, please.
Okay.
19, save. You do not lose the max HP. You are quite safe. It is now your turn.
So, can I use healing potion on Alba?
You
Or would I
can.
have to stabilize them?
Well, it's up to you. If you want to use a healing potion on him, you can. It'll cost you your bonus action to do so. You're right next to him, so you can bend down and do it.
Yep, that is what I want to do. I'm pretty sure I've got one somewhere. Yes, potion of healing.
Okay, so 2d4 plus 2. You roll it, and give the heal to Elba.
It's 5 points of healing damage.
So Elba, you have a healing pot poured down your gullet. Makes you choke a little bit, but your eyes flutter open, and you are now at 5 points HP. You're still prone, however, so you're looking up from the flat of your back. But you are now conscious. Your action, Steve.
Action, yeah, I know. Don't suppose I'm able to drink one myself.
You've used your. Well, you could expend your action to drink one if you want. An action's generally longer than the bonus action. If you want to use the action to drink a potion, that's up to you.
Well, I've got 2 HP, so
Probably a prudent choice. I mean,
Well,
you know this. You are flanked by a couple of creatures. You're not sure who's. You know that before Moriel came straight after you, so it's up to you.
yeah, I'm going to take a healing potion myself.
Okay.
'Cause if I move, I'm going to get bad.
No worries. Roll that.
And
So that'll be 6 for you.
6 points of healing damage.
6 points of healing damage to you. So that is your turn. You know if you move, you're going to get slotted. Moriel, it is your turn. Hex on board.
Alright, so Moriel's going to twin spell inflict wounds, because I'm assuming where the giant is, that's in touch range.
Yeah, he's pretty big. He takes up a pretty big space, so the wraith will be close enough. Yes.
And then I'm also going to quicken spell Toll of the Dead.
No worries.
So,
resolve
these.
Resolve your first spell first.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do first. First attack, 19 to hit.
That will hit both.
And 23.
Yeah,
are we doing it that I have to call?
I think you only have to hit the first, because I think you just have to hit the first. The way that I read the spell is that you're twinning it, so it hits your first target and automatically hits another target within 10 feet. It just almost like arcs off like a lightning, chain lightning, in my opinion. That's the way I see it. I mean, other DMs may do it differently, but I'll do it that way.
Alright. This is going to be cast at the 3rd level.
Yep.
5d10 coming in. For 23 points of damage on both.
23 necrotic. Well, let's double check something here. Just quickly. This creature here seems to be unaffected by the necrotic damage. This guy does take damage, but not as much as you would have expected.
Okay.
Thank you. And your quicken spell, Toll the Dead.
Yep. Both need to make wisdom saving throws.
Toll the Dead only affects one creature.
But if he's this one is in 5 foot for my Reaper ability.
Reaper ability, yes.
A second ability.
I forgot about your Reaper ability, yes. So what's the save, sorry?
Wisdom.
I forgot about your Reaper thing. 15 on the big dude.
He passes.
Dirty 20 for the Wraith.
And he also passes. So nothing happens.
The skeletal hand does reach out, but seems to not take any effect. Is that your turn, sir?
That's my turn.
Next up is this guy. Turning to you, Steve, as you're right there. It reaches out with a 25 to hit. 18 points of necrotic damage.
I'm down.
I'll get you to make the con save as well.
So which one?
Just a Constitution save, DC 14.
Okay, is it?
This is just for reduction of max hit points. Even though you're down, you save, so that's fine. So that's, you are unconscious. Steve drops with the attack on this creature. That is its turn. It's not moving anywhere. Hex, it is your turn.
The silence will have gone as well.
Yep. Thank you.
Would have gone before, but I didn't.
That's a good. Well, there's no one left in it. How long does the wall of flame stay up? By the way, Moriel. I forget. I think it's like a minute or something.
Yeah, concentration up to a minute.
Okay, have you taken any damage yet?
I have not.
Cool, so it is remaining.
So, Hex is not moving where I've put her. She's staying at the steps.
Okay.
Just at the top of the steps, she's going to be standing
No problem.
here. But so I can see I've moved into the room.
No drama.
Hex is going to spend a sorcery point, so this spell is not using vocal or somatic componentry.
No problem.
And then Hex is going to cast something she has never cast before. Well, not in front of these people. Hex's dark hunger.
For the DM, that's just the hunger of her dark hobby.
No worries.
It is. As Hex looks upon the space, she's going to cast it here. And it is a 20-foot sphere. And what you will see, everyone looking upon, is a large.
What color is it?
Centered on me. Is where I'm standing. Color? It is black and swirling mist.
Can't do black.
Okay,
That's
we'll
okay.
say purple swirling mist then. But
I
it is
can do
a
it.
dark. What you see ahead of you is a dark gateway that opens to the stars. There's a region.
You said it was
inside
centered on
here,
you?
Centered on where my character is currently, yes. A region in here that is bitter and cold. And anyone peering into it or standing in it can see strange creatures and hear soft whispers. No magical light nor other light can illuminate this area, as it is now, as they watch these creatures, they are plunged into pitch black. So they see for a split moment the stars and the creatures, and then it is dark. They cannot make any noise, nor can they be heard for up to 30 feet away. This void is now dealing 2d6 cold damage to any creature that ends its turn here, as well as any creature that's there must make a dexterity saving throw or also take 2d6 acid damage.
So 13 for the giant. Six for the first race.
So 15 is what they need.
17 for the second race.
So the second rate saves. They take 6 damage each for those who take it all.
So it's cold damage?
Cold damage. Yes, and if they end their turn there, they then take the acid damage. It's up to you, DM. We can do it both at the same time at the start if you like.
Yeah, do it now.
Sorry,
roll
the
the start.
cold damage is automatic. The dex save is for the acid.
For the acid, okay. So the cold damage, now roll the acid damage.
So they all take 6, and then if you've rolled those
Yep.
dexes, the acid damage is what they take half.
So roll the acid damage next.
The acid damage is 11.
Nice.
And I am now concentrating, and this stays.
So they cannot see,
They
you
cannot
said?
see, nor hear, nor make sound, nor noise go into it.
No worries. Is it similar to the magical darkness?
Very similar to Dark Star.
Similar to Dark Star. No worries.
So does that damage count as a failed save for me?
Yes, it would count as a failed save, as well as Alba being in there.
So does Alba need to make the save as well?
Yes, he will also need to make the save. Everyone in it.
Okay, so
to make
Alba,
the
you need
save.
to make a dex save, please, and automatic failure or loss of 1 death save to you, Steve, as you take
One
damage. Just 1.
I made a
or
dex save.
two, because there's acid and frost.
We'll just say the 1, because it all sort of
Hey.
all happened at once. So
Yeah, they don't make the save for the cold. The cold's automatic.
Yeah.
It's if they,
yeah, so we'll just say the 1, and so you need to make you'll take 6 cold damage. First, Alba.
if they make the save, they don't take the acid damage.
I'm unconscious again.
So Alba drops unconscious. Once again. Can you see into it, Hex?
Unfortunately, I cannot.
So you have no idea what's going on in there. Is that your turn?
That is Hex. The last thing she will say is, there will be casualties if people do not move out of there, Captain, but it cannot be avoided to stop the giant.
And no one inside can hear it anyway.
Correct.
So,
Captain.
by the captain. So this race turn moves into you, Moriel. It senses that you were pretty tough with the fear, so he's not going to worry. He's just going to attack you outright with an 18 to hit. Does that hit?
18 does hit.
Does hit. So 17 points of necrotic damage.
I am resistant to necrotic, so I
That'll
take
be half. So there'll be 8 points of necrotic damage, and you'll need to make a con save, please.
Of 8, I will burn another inspo.
No worries.
For 9, so that's
That'll be enough.
17.
Yep, that'll be enough. You do not lose maximum hit points. You're good. Next up is the stone giant. So it can move through this.
Yes, it can move. It just cannot see. It classes the area as difficult terrain as well.
So it's half speed.
Correct.
So he's only just in it, so he's going to step backwards. It's just on the outside of it. And he's going to step backwards again to step out of it completely. Survey the situation. And he's going to pick up a chunk of rock from the floor and hurl it at you, Moriel, as you're basically the only one you can see. With a 23 to hit. It's 36 points of bludgeoning damage as he hurls a rock at you. The Moriel's unconscious. So Moriel is also unconscious. The creature doesn't do anything else. Elba, death save, please.
So
You start again from scratch, so
Yep.
you start again from 3.
Awesome.
So roll your d20. 10 or higher is a success. Vanassus, it is your turn with Captain Moore on board.
So death save for me too.
Aishra, you're down as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
The death save from you as well. Next up is this wraith. Seeing Moriel go down, it moves away and here and just waits. The cultist down here does nothing, stands and waits. Captain Moore, it is your turn.
Can't see into the other room, but I cannot move.
Well, you can't see into it now anyway because of the
Yeah.
because of what's
What does that
there.
mean? It breaks fear.
It would break your line of sight, so you would no longer see it. You're still frightened.
Oh. Damn it.
Actually, yeah, it would break the fear. I'd say yes. You're no longer frightened.
But Vanassus is lying down next to you.
Yes.
Cheep,
Yes, yes. Ah, great. Phenomenal. Okay. The captain shake his head a little bit, and he's gonna reach into his bag, grab out his last potion of greater healing, and stuff it into the bird's beak.
44 plus 4.
Yes. I'll let Vanassus roll that one.
No, you're
Don't
administering it.
trust
You roll it.
Oh, okay. Shit. Would you say that is my, because I'm administering that someone that's my full action?
No, we've always said bonus action, but you said were retrieving it from your pack, didn't you?
Yes.
So yeah, that'd be action. Well, movement plus bonus action, so it'll still give you an action.
Okay. Can't really do anything else. I
You
see.
can't.
That
So
is-
basically, you can't move.
Yeah. 15 points of healing damage to Vanassus.
I'm assuming the firewall would dissipate with your unconsciousness too. Moriel, thank you.
Yes, that is it. Just 15 points of healing damage, and I can't really do anything.
No, you can't
Um,
really see into the room. I mean, you can see this this swirling stuff.
I can't move, but can I, with the remainder of my, I guess, action, help pick up Vanassus from the floor?
You certainly can.
That is
You
what
can
I'll
take
do.
the help action, 100%.
Yes. And that is what I'll do.
No worries. this race turn.
Also, spiritual weapons gone to
Yes, would be.
DM.
Thank you. So this one, not entirely sure where it's going to go. I'm going to roll a d4. 3, north, south, east. It's going to move forward. Its whole movements, which doesn't quite get it out. So we're going to roll the acid damage again. Please. Another 11 points of acid damage.
11 cold, and it will have to roll a dex for the acid.
Right. 11 cold and dex. 18.
So it saves, so it takes no acid damage.
No problem. Steve, it is your turn. Death save, please. And again, DM me your whether you're alive or dead if that happens.
1 second.
So that is you, Muriel. Death save from you, please. Next up
Just a
is
question.
yes.
Because of ended my turn on it, will I still get hit with acid damage?
Actually, yeah. If
Yes, you will.
it'd be cold damage, not the acid damage. So that'd be an instant fail anyway, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So you wouldn't even needed to roll it. Well, you roll plus the instant fail. So I'd say Steve is dead in there.
When I was roll for 1,
Yep.
and
Then you'll lose one.
then I'll lose 1, but there's still a chance I can get a nat 20.
Okay, cool.
And then
Good to know. I forgot about that.
Fall down and start to die again.
Does that happen to me too?
Yeah, we'll do on your next turn. So this bit we'll get to that. So DM's inspiration, even though you're probably going to die for bringing that up.
Yeah, good memory. I forgot that too.
So this one here, it's his turn, will just die, as it had very little hit points left, and it was going to generally not be able to make it out. So Hex, it is your turn.
Hex, knowing the devastation of the spell, drops concentration as a free action,
Drops the spell.
and she can see what is alive in there, I assume?
You can see 2 unconscious bodies lying right in the center. You can see one wraith was turning to flee. Can't quite see Muriel at the point he's around the corner, but the giant is still there. You can probably see this wraith as well, and maybe that one. If you were to move to the other side, like if you were to peer, you'd see everything.
I'm not moving into the room, I'm just looking
Right,
from the
from
corridor
where
I
you
am.
were, you would only see
Just that wraith and that
this
giant.
one and the giant, and possibly this guy down. Probably not. Just the wraith and the giant. But you would see the two unconscious bodies of Steve and Alba.
Hex will move forward to Alba. And off her belt, she will take I have a greater, I believe. The greater healing potion and administer it to him.
44 plus 4.
That is 12 plus 4, that is 16 for Alba.
So Alba, you get 16 points healing damage, and your eyes flutter awake once again. You are no longer making death saves.
And as her... so that's a bonus action?
That's your
do you-
bonus action, yes.
As her action... I only have one left.
So we've got a giant here just for me.
Yep.
A dude here, and there's one way down there.
So you can probably see this one here, and this one here.
there's one there too. Okay.
There's two there, but you could probably only just see... Oh no, you probably see this one as well. And where you are, you'd see Morial, just,
Okay.
as he's also slumped to the ground.
Hex is going to cast the same spell she just cast. Right centered here.
So 20 foot.
And And she's using a sorcery point to do it in silence. 20-foot sphere. Hopefully capturing this clown.
Only just. He's sort of half in, half out. But it does catch. It will do the damage. So the cold damage is initial.
The cold damage is initial. I will roll that now. Oh, not that one. 4 cold damage.
4 cold damage, and he needs to make a dex save for the acid.
Correct. Usually at the end is turn.
17. We'll do it all at the start.
All the same.
Makes it a bit easier.
He does not take the acid damage.
Does not
at this
take the
current
acid.
point.
So is that your turn?
That is it for Hex.
Next up, this wraith-seeing movement moves through you both to the other side of you, Hex. So I need, its target was you, Hex. So Hex, I need you to make a Constitution save, please.
Constitution save.
As
Wonderful.
this ice-cold entity moves through your body.
That is a natural 20 for a 25.
18 points of psychic damage. As you have saved to take half damage.
Is 18 half, is it?
Yep. He then reaches out, misses with an 11. Next up is the giant's turn. Moves itself out of this, stepping into the hallway, almost blocking the entire hall. Gonna move him here, so he's in the central. And Elba is still lying down, so he's going to reach with his 10-foot reach and swing at you, Hex, as you were the one moving. 2 great club attacks. 22 to hit on the first. 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, Hex is going to put shield up as a reaction.
For the first?
Yes, it remains for the duration of the 6 seconds, so it will
Okay.
last for both. What did he get for the second?
Natural 20.
Never mind.
So does it negate the first?
It bet the first anyway. It only
Okay.
adds 5 to my armor.
Okay.
I was hoping to beat
so
the second.
the first is good. So the second, you'll take 15 points of bludgeoning damage. As the just swings a little bit harder and faster. Almost
Hex.
slamming you to the ground.
Hex, almost. Hex falls unconscious.
Hex becomes unconscious. And is slammed to the ground. Elba, it is your turn. You're conscious. You're prone. You've just seen Hex drop to the floor next to you. You look around, you see Steve lying next to you also. Looming above you is this giant. What do you do?
I have to use half my movement to get up,
You
yes?
certainly do.
I'll do
I mean,
that.
you're sort of right there anyway, so there's not a whole lot you can do apart from attack or try and run. Up to you.
I'll get up. As a bonus, I will use second wind.
No worries. Give yourself a heal.
So 1d10 plus 5.
Yep.
Is that correct?
So let's roll a d10 and add a 5 to it. He's 13 points of healing.
Thanks.
It's all good. Math is hard, we know this.
And
Renessus, you're on deck, so you know.
I will use my maul on the giant.
Fire away, sir.
8.
Natural 1 for an 8. The first one misses.
No, try again.
Swing again.
With 18.
18 hits.
Ah, thank goodness. And 9 damage.
9 damage. He's starting to look a little bloody. Still standing strong, but he's definitely taken damage.
And that's it. That's all I can do.
It is all you can do, unfortunately. Bernassus, you're up. Captain Moore on board.
Benassus nods to the captain. His wings feel a little bit faulty, so he's gonna grab his greater healing potion, toss that back, D4.
Yep, 4d4 plus 4.
So that's 12 healing damage.
12 healing damage.
Yep. He's gonna wipe his beak and he's gonna cast magic missile at the giant down into the other room.
Magic missile over here to this dude.
Yep.
They will automatically hit.
Yep.
Roll your damage. At what level are you casting it?
Second.
Second, so it'll be three missiles. Or was it 4 at second? I think it's 3.
3. Yeah.
So first one does 3.
5.
8 total so far. 13.
13.
There's all 3 missiles snake through around the wraith, around Alba, striking the giant in his torso. They all find their target.
And I am going to move back a little.
No worries. Is that your
That
turn?
is me. Yep.
Alba, you were looking around the room. You watched this wraith disappear. The cultist in the back of the room doesn't do anything. Stays where he is. Captain Moore, it's your turn.
I just realised my mic was muted. I can't see into the other room. Do you mind if I just before I?
Yeah, move yourself in so you can see. Depending on what you want to do, you do it from there. So, what you'll see if you move in, you're pretty much right on top of the wraith.
God.
So you got a wraith right there in front of Hex. Hex is down.
Oh, fuck.
You've got Steve who's down as well. You got a giant right there. You got a wraith right here. That's pretty much all you can see from your position. It's just the carnage in that hallway.
No! Oh no! That ruins everything. I was hoping I might be able to run to someone.
So, well, you could, but it could be hairy.
Oh shit! Fuck. Okay.
But that's what you see if you look down that hallway. You would see that
How-
wraith hovering over Hex's body.
How important does the captain feel that he has a desire to protect the town? Like, is it, could I work for another town or?
I'd say it's pretty important. I mean, Captain Moore's been with Dusk Hollow for a long time, so this is his town, and he'll do anything to protect it.
How high are the ceilings?
The ceiling in the main room is 50 feet. In this hallway, it's only about 12 or 15 feet max.
Okay.
6 seconds, Captain.
Would you let me, as part of my bonus action, give a potion to Benassis and then move into the room to the wraith to attack?
Sure thing.
Great, fantastic. The captain's gonna run straight to Benassis, hand him a potion into his chest, whilst he's drawing his longsword. He's gonna say, "You use those bloody wings. You bring up someone that can heal. I'm gonna distract him," and he's gonna run straight back into the wraith.
Okay. So we'll just I'll put you where you need to be. We'll put you over this on the side here. So we'll put you there, but you're attacking the wraith from behind. But because X is downed, you won't get the.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I mean.
Natural 20 for the first one.
Do some shuffling. Natural 20 for the first attack, and your second.
Okay.
18. They both hit. Oh, that's the damage.
Oh no, sorry, that was damage. Second one is 14.
That'll hit too.
Okay. So the first one, I just rolled 2d10 and it got me an 18.
Yep.
And the second damage is 8, so it's 26 points of damage.
No
The
worries.
first hit was a nat 20, so
Yeah,
whatever
so
your
you-
max damage was as well on top of the first
Yeah.
hit.
So what's the sword's natural damage?
Oh
No, it rolled 2d10. Anyway, so it's rolling it for us, which It's D&D Beyond. We'll take that at this stage. But 26 points all up in that attack. He's looking bloody.
Okay.
Not dead, but he's looking bloody.
Okay, too easy. Too easy. Alright, that's it. That's all I can do.
Yeah, so
I'm
when we do when you roll a crit on a melee weapon, don't roll the weapon damage. Do a custom roll. And just so we can do the crit damage the way we normally do it.
Too easy, too
So
easy.
it's your turn.
That's all I can do.
Race turn over here. Moves through. Captain Moore, need you to make a con save as he moves through your body.
24.
Save 18 points of psychic damage. Still take damage, it's only half. Reaches out. 21 to hit. 29 points of necrotic damage.
Yep, I'm down. Yeah.
Captain Moore drops once again. Make the con save as well. Oh no, I won't even worry about that. There's no point. So that's the race turn. Steve, death save please. Moriel, death save please. Hicks, death save please. Race turn. As no one is left, Alba's the only one left standing. This guy can't, it's going to step pretty much onto, or hover just above where Hex is lying. Alba reaches out, touches you, misses. Can't seem to get through that armor. Stone Giant's turn. Club attacks. 17 to hit, Alba. Believe that hit. No, that does not. It misses. Nice. Second, natural 20.
Yep.
That'll hit. That is 16 points of bludgeoning damage. Still up. That is its turn. Albert, is now your turn. Bernasis on deck.
Can I feed Drax's character that potion that got left on top of him?
You could, but he doesn't look to be breathing. As you look down and look at Steve, he's unmoving. Does not appear to be breathing at all.
Okay. I pick it up, feed it to somebody else.
You got a wraith right on you. You got a giant on the other side. It's going to be pretty iffy. You could possibly, yeah, I'd say at this stage probably not. You're pretty much surrounded.
It's gonna
being attacked from both sides.
Oh my god! I'll attack the ghost behind me.
So you turn, attack the wraith. 2 attacks.
Yep. Holy shit! This is intense.
22 to hit. It does hit.
7 damage.
7 bludgeoning damage. It's looking pretty rough. Second.
13.
It hits. Just.
Oh my god.
Just hits.
With 11 damage.
The wraith dissipates in a poof as you manage to defeat this entity. There's still another one here, and the giant's still here as well. The cultist cowering in the corner.
As a bonus, actually, can I drink a potion? I'm pretty sure I got some earlier, like last game.
No worries. So, is that your turn? You've got a bonus action, which gives you action surge, or, yeah, I think you've used your second one, but you do have an action surge, possibly. I don't know if you've used it yet.
Where is that part? Point to bonus action.
Yeah, be under your bonus actions or features and traits. Essentially gives you another attack action, so you get 2 more attacks.
Actually, yeah, I found it. Yeah, I'll use that.
So you turn back, face the giant, and attack him twice more, raising them all high. Swing away, sir. Swing away.
25.
That hits.
9 damage.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. Hear it squelch against the undead skin. 25 hits.
13 damage.
13 points of damage. It's not looking good. It's looking pretty rough. You can see the undead flesh you've stripped away from bone and crushed bone with your heavy maul blows. It's still up, but it's looking pretty bad.
So do I take a potion?
You've used your bonus action for your action search, so you won't be able
I can't
to.
do it now. That's all
No,
good.
you better do
I'll
it
end
next
it.
turn, maybe. So that's your turn. Bernassus, you're up. You look down the hallway. You see that Elba is back up. You see Hex, Captain Moore, and Steve all down. You see a wraith hovering over Captain Moore's body. You see the giant Elba swinging away. The giant's not looking too flash. It's your turn.
Oh, and he's holding his side, and he sort of zooms in as quick as he can. Apparently, come on, there he goes. Not on top of Hex. That's a bit.
Well, you could technically stand on top of Hex. She's unconscious.
So as a bonus action, I'm gonna take the potion that the captain gave me from my chest.
Yep.
And dump it into Hex.
No problem.
That was a standard, wasn't it?
Was it standard or
My
greater?
captain?
I want to say greater, but it was definitely standard.
The standard. So 2d4 plus 2.
That is
5. Hex,
This
your
magic
eyes
meter.
flicker open.
Okay.
And then I lift my other hand up for magic missile at first level into the.
No
The giant.
worries. How many? It's still 3 for first level.
It's still 3. It's
Yeah.
not until once you get past
Third,
second level that
yeah.
it's.
Third adds extra 1. He's not looking too good. So 3 missiles, 2,
Oh,
4,
4, 9.
9 points of force damage. Still up, but he's starting to look a little sluggish. Is that your turn?
I am actually gonna back and sort of jeer at the Wraith. Come get me, you bastard! I can't, it won't. Oh, will it let me?
You're going to move away. You'll get an attack of
Yep.
opportunity because you moved
Yep.
into him. So he's first going to reach out and try and touch you and miss you as you're just way too quick for him. But it is now his turn. And as you would think, when it moves in and moves through you, con save, please.
Will Hex, even though she's laying down, get attack of opportunity from the floor as it moves away?
At disadvantage, I'd say yes.
That is fair. She has clawed gloves.
Roll an attack at disadvantage.
I forget. Oh, 2 goods. A natural 20 and a 16.
Dirty
for
20,
to hit.
so that hits.
With her clawed glove, he takes 7 slashing damage.
7 slashing damage. Duly noted. So your con save, Bernassus, was 25. You only take 18 points of psychic damage instead of the full 36. It is... Got to do it. It's going to reach out and try and touch you again. Natural 1. Misses with a natural 1. The cultist is going to stay in the back of the room cowering. Captain Moore, death save, please. Steve is not moving. Moriel, your eyes flutter open. You can use half your movement to stand up. Get back into this fight.
He will. So how damaged is this one looking?
He's looking pretty rough.
Alright.
You can see the flesh just hanging off the bone in places. He's not really struggling to lift the great club that he's got, but he's definitely moving a little slower.
Moriel is going to cast at the 3rd level Inflict Wounds.
And what is the save on inflict wounds?
No, it's a hit.
To roll a hit. I keep forgetting it's Toll the Dead that's a save.
And I will roll another inspo for that.
Geez, chat, your inspirations and lucks will come in handy tonight. Another
18.
10. Well done. That'll hit. Just.
With the thing that we talked about, does that still apply? Touch of Death. When you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can spend Channel Divinity to deal an extra 9 points of necrotic damage.
Was that a touch spell?
That's a touch spell. Inflict Wounds is a touch spell.
You have to move a little closer, but yes, that will certainly... That's exactly how the spell reads.
So that is 38 points of necrotic damage on the stone giant.
38 points of necrotic damage. It's not quite dead, but it is not looking healthy at all. The necrotic damage strips away flesh from bone. It turns, dragging the club on the cobblestone beneath it, and turns and looks at you. You can see it's on the verge, but it's not quite down.
I'm torn between two.
6 seconds, make the decision.
Moriel will once again use his quicken.
Yep. It turns an action into a bonus action.
Use Chill Touch, which is a cantrip.
Yep.
For 16 to hit.
That will miss. Seems to just go slightly wide.
I will burn my last inspo. So 25.
That'll hit.
For 9 points of necrotic damage.
Explain your chill touch as it reaches out from your hand and wraps around this giant, bring him to his knees.
The icy cold hand reaching up from the ground starts to the black tendrils from his arm reach out and they just form his hand all the way down his hand out through his fingertips. And as the chill touch extends out to 2 skeletal hands, they wrap around the stone giant, slowly squeezing him until it crumbles to the ground.
So the black ice that extends from Moriel's hand splits in two. 2 large dark skeletal icicle hands wrap themselves around the giant, squeezing. You can hear the bones crack, the flesh split and tear. as the giant is crushed and killed on the spot. As the icicles dissipate, the malformed body of this large creature slumps to the floor with a heavy thud. It is now dead. You still have one race up though, however. Down the hall, Mora, as you turn and look, you can see Elba is still up, Hex is still up, Steve is unmoving, the captain is unmoving, and Bernassus is face to face with an entity. You also know that there's a cultist still in the room with you, cowering in the corner. And I believe that would pretty much be your turn. You've got
Yep.
maybe 10 feet of movement if you wish to use it.
No, I will stand my ground.
No worries. Hex, you're up. Elba on board.
Hex moves. Well, maybe not there.
You'll be on top of Bernassus.
Bernassus.
That's right, just move to one side when you get in there. It's because of the teleport.
Yeah, it's okay. I
Just-
don't want to move into the room.
yeah.
I just want to see.
Stay where you are. He's right on the other side of Bernassus, so
I would look at this creature, the ghost creature, and say, well, every time I've spent time in death, I feel like I could take over that place. In the meantime, I wish you were dead.
And it needs to make a wisdom save as I cast Dissonant Whispers.
Dissonant Whispers once again. Wisdom save for an 11, which I believe is a failure.
It takes 6.
Oh, good roll, Bears.
6 psychic damage.
Not enough to
Three
kill
ones.
it. Not enough to kill it, but it's looking rough. It's starting to try and hold its shape, but it's struggling.
And as a bonus action, with Captain Moore behind me, I'm going to kneel down and give him the last potion I have in my inventory.
No worries.
It is a regular potion of healing.
2d4 plus 2.
He gets 6 healing points.
The captain, you are now conscious, sputtered awake. Elba, it is your turn. Bernassus on board. So from where you are, Elba, you look down the hallway. Don't bother moving at this point. We all know what's going to happen. If Elba wants, I think you'll have enough movement to get to the wraith if you wish to attack it.
Yeah, I'll attack.
So Elba moves up to stand next to Bernassus. Roll to hit on your 2 attacks, good sir.
Ah,
A 9 will miss. You do have an inspiration, I believe.
do I? Didn't even know.
I think I
missed.
saw one for you earlier. So D10 added to that
Oh, we
first
rolled
hit.
for- So I'll roll for the first hit then. Sorry, I didn't see one. Get one.
Yeah, no, I think it was earlier in the night.
10.
That'll be the first hit will hit. Your second one will miss still. So roll damage on your first hit.
9.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. It is looking really rough. It is still up. It is,
And I got no more bonus stuff, so
nope, that's pretty much it for you. Bernassus. This creature is looking pretty much gone. There's not much left. It's your turn.
Bernassus is holding his side. He looks to Alba. Let's finish this. And he's going to lift up his launcher and just pump it into
Shoot it in the face.
Yep.
So with the launcher, is it a ranged weapon? Is it a ranged attack? Does it say that specifically?
It is a ranged one, yeah.
So it'll be at disadvantage at this close range unless you wish to move. But take it anyway. You can see that's very close to death. I
Alright.
believe you have 2 attacks, but it will be at disadvantage.
Alright. Oh, I got a natural 20. What, 11 plus 7?
Well, that's on
so
dis-
18?
Yeah, it's disadvantage. It's 18. It still hits. I mean, that hits.
Alright, so that is... Oh, 5 points.
5 points,
damage?
not quite enough. It is still up.
Alright.
Your second attack.
13. I got another natural 20.
13 will still hit.
Jesus.
And it hits AC is 13.
9 points of lightning damage.
As the lightning damage rings out, describe the demise of the final wraith in this
Vanessa
battle.
sort of leans in a bit, and he's almost not trying to hit it anymore. He just sort of powers it up and leans into it as if he's going to fall over, and it just sort of crackles and envelops it, and then it just...
Yeah, as the lightning leaves Vanassus's contraption, it envelops the wraith, surrounding it in electrical energy, and after a short time, it dissipates and disappears. There is still one combatant left on the field. However, the lone cultist in the back of the room. You all know he's there. You can move yourselves back into the same room. Technically, we're out of initiative, so if Banassus, you want to move into the room with the rest of the crew, you can. You guys look around, and all of you see this guy in the corner. Steve's down. He does not look to be breathing, however. So we'll go out of initiative for this, because essentially that's pretty much it. What are you guys going to do?
Captain is gonna gasp for air as he comes back to life. He's gonna use the weight of his sword to help him get up, as he says, "I'm getting way too old for this shit." He's gonna lean up against the wall. He's gonna look at Hex, give her a nod, look at the Moriel, then look at the cultist staring in the corner of the room. Then he's gonna stay on the wall, just look at you both and go, "Officially, whatever you two decide to do, I don't care. As painful as you want to make it, just do it."
Excellent. I was hoping you were going to say that. And let's see. Moriel is just going to fire his... Where is it? His ray of sickness.
No need to roll to hit.
Okay. It's 4d8.
Yeah. No need to even roll damage. This guy was pretty well booked up. He was low on health. Just describe what happens to this last individual as Moriel strolls to the center of the room, looks at this cultist cowering in the corner. He begs and pleads for you not to kill him.
Moriel just points at him. You tell Asmodeus that I will find my daughter. I will find her. And there'll be nothing he can do to stop me. And he just fires.
And the sickness strikes the individual. The veins, black and green, creep up from inside his cloak, upside of his face, and it's almost like a necrosis takes over. And he just gurgles and chokes and splutters, and then sinks back against the wall. Eyes rolls back in his head. You hear the last breath of life leave his body.
While he's doing that, Hex will stroll over to Steve's body. She'll jam the alchemist's fire flask into his mouth. She will teabag him, for lack of a better term, and then she will step back and shoot it with a firebolt from her hand.
Again, no need to roll to hit or anything like that. It's a stationary corpse. The alchemist fire ignites quite spectacularly, in fact, as Hex well knows. Melting flesh from bone, as the heat is very intense. There's still a fair bit remains of Steve, but not a whole lot.
What's everyone looking at? I didn't want him to be raised as the dead.
Moriel, the necrotic energy that resides in this place, Hex, you feel it as well. Extremely strong. And it remains even after the death of these entities that were trying to tap into it.
Moriel pulls out his amulet. I know you sent me here to finish this job. I don't know who you are, and you haven't revealed yourself to me yet. You've given me this amulet. Tell me, what do I do in this moment?
Get no reply. Seems the darkness in this place is shielding whatever deity may be even trying to answer you at this point.
He said that out loud, didn't he?
Did he say it out loud? Yeah.
Yeah. He's no qualms of letting people know.
Yeah.
Vanassus will go over to Moriel and sort of touch him gingerly on the turn. What you do now is you count on your friends. We'll help you. Whatever. Except for Steve. May he rest in peace.
There's a few pieces. One up the wall, a little bit on the ground. Some of it is smouldering.
Show you some respect, Hex. Fucking hell.
Oh, you don't look too good. Alba, do you need some help?
You all look pretty rough, in fact. Looking around the room, you're all beaten, bleeding, wounded. Some of you more severely than others. Exhausted. As you stand here, the energy, necrotic energy still remains, but an eerie silence falls over the ruin. Strange sounds that you were hearing before you can no longer hear anymore. Captain Moore. 10-15 minutes go by. You're satisfied that whatever was here is no longer a threat. You offer your companions sanctuary in Dusk Hollow for the evening. Tend to their wounds if they so wish. But you believe that Dusk Hollow is now safe from whatever was here.
Captain, clutching his just open wounds from being brought to the brink of death and back, is gonna walk up to Hex. Sword in one hand, gripped tightly, very slowly. He's gonna then raise his sword, but as he gets to Hex, he's gonna stop, plant it smack bang in the middle, the center of the ground, and then put out an open palmed hand to shake her hand. And whilst he puts his hand open, he says, "Whilst you may be a little strange in terms of tactics and methods. Looks like I was wrong. I owe you an apology. But you did not have to kill Steve. We could have brought him back.
I did not kill Steve. Steve was dead.
Fair point. Fair point.
She extends her hand. Now, I gave you, Hex, gave you that last potion, right?
Yep.
She's so kind. She says,
I hope you appreciate battlefield healing and medics is not really my strong point.
how well do you look?
Not good at all.
She shakes your hand and she says,
Well, it's been brilliant fighting beside you.
this is still in here, we're not back in town, or?
Still here.
Okay. DM and Scott for you too, Sean, if you didn't see it.
I did what I said I would do. I was here to help. And I helped. I never asked for any money, and whatever judgment you may have of me, I appreciate this gesture.
And she shakes your hand and lets it be.
There's nothing else? You're not going to pump like some type of spell damage? I'm waiting for it.
No, that's it. I have no potions to help you any further. I'm sorry.
So,
Oh, what? I thought you were going to kill me.
with
What?
that, with the cultists dealt with and the undead destroyed, seems that Dusk Hollow is safe once again. The villagers will be able to organise to retrieve the dead, give them a proper burial, as per Captain Moore's instructions. The remaining books that were not destroyed by Hex's firebolt would also be recovered and studied. You all head back to the Dusk Hollow, back to the inn for food and drink. You meet with the mayor. She gives you payment. On top of the payment your lord had offered. An extra 250 gold pieces apiece. And thanks you all very much. We will now switch to that evening. Later in the evening, the mayor is in her home, preparing to go to bed, getting a few papers organised. As she turns to fold down the covers and get into bed, a figure stands in her bedroom, in the shadows. Steps out. The mayor turns and says, didn't see you there. What are you doing here?
Captain Moore steps out of the shadows and he says, so sorry. Just had this to deliver. And he drives a sword straight into the chest of the mayor.
The mayor, ready for bed, not expecting this, is impaled on the captain's sword. Sword runs her through, right to the hilt. With dying breath, she asks, "Why?" and then dies in her own bedroom floor.
Captain Moore's face then switches to that of the mayor's.
The body
The
then
mayor-
dealt with, I assume.
Correct. The body is dealt with quickly with acid. The mayor continues her mayoral duties.
In coming days, nothing seems out of place. Captain Moore, you visit with the mayor on a couple of occasions. Don't seem to notice anything out of place at all. She seems much the same, a little happier than usual. On occasion, you do notice you may be a little harsh with some of her rulings, but most of them you don't disagree with. You've often said that she needs to be harsher in her duties.
She also offers Moriel General's position. in the army.
Oriel looks towards Hex and looks towards the captain. And then back at Hex. We always going to work together, Hex. You ever need me, all you have to do is call. For now, I will ride with you as your general.
Just for clarity, you're talking to the mayor, not Hex. But you know who it is.
He knows because he's been telepathically told who I am. But yes, yeah. Hopefully he's keeping my guys.
Yeah.
So,
He hasn't mentioned any names.
Also, the captain wasn't standing right there.
no, Captain wouldn't have been privy to that particular conversation.
Okay, that's cool. All right.
And that is where we'll end tonight's story and our mini adventure, The Curse of Dusk Hollow, where Ixakara has placed herself in a position of power and has recruited a general who is also very powerful and will only grow in power as their skills increase. Elba and Benassis, you return to your lord with a report, along with Moriel to begin with. Do other jobs for him, make money. You learn. Benassis, you take samples of many things, and your skills grow. Elba, your experiences within the Dusk Hollow ruins have opened your eyes to the world. You now see that carrying behind tables is not always the best approach. You know you are strong and stout of heart, and you'll serve whatever master you serve. You will serve well. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us. Players, thank you so much for joining me for this mini adventure. Steve, Drax, dude, another PC death for you. Nutty, a PC death for you as well. Kinda NPC, but thank you guys for hanging out with us for that mini adventure. That was amazing. Very well done to everyone. JJ, awesome dude. I'm glad you were able to play this with us and you did an exceptional job. Congratulations to you and a big GG's to you as well. Obviously Grim, Magic, Drax and Roasted Chicken and Baz all coming to join us for this. So I know Baz has got to head off very quickly, so we'll get a moment from him before he heads off.
Oh, it's all good, man. I can give another 10 if I have to. I'm not too
So we're going to get some moments from this. We're going to do two things. We're going to do moments from tonight, and then just from the players, just give me a quick overall impression of the mini adventure and your experience, either from your character or something that sort of stood out from the whole thing, DM, story-wise, character-wise, whatever. So we'll start with Baz. So obviously tonight's session first.
Tonight, two things. Drax with the silent spell, that was a surprise. I did not realise his character had spells at all. So that was one of those things that either I didn't notice.
Shadow Rogues, man.
Yeah, that was really good being silenced. The other one was Benassis when Drax tried to, Steve tried to climb down the thing, and Benassis goes, "You know what? You're the most ineffective rogue I've ever met," or something to that effect. I thought that was very good. As of the whole campaign, well done. Curse of Dusk Hollow was cool. Good little dungeon crawl.
Yeah.
I think take away from the whole thing, all the characters very unique, but my favourite would be the last minute edition of Captain Moore. I really enjoyed the back and forth of Captain Moore, and I know Cam I know Cam, you were struggling with some of the back and forth at the beginning. Not so much. It was just it's one of those trigger things that makes you frustrated because your character's trying to do something really good, but he gets assholed on all the time. But no, I love Captain Moore. He was actually really cool, and it was so tempting to put you down at the end there, but I knew I had better plans.
I was kind of waiting for one of you to do it, but it didn't happen. I thought Captain Moore was going to try it.
I was tossing a coin.
I thought he was going to,
because everyone was pretty fucked up, so it wouldn't have taken much to take each other down. So
I only had 5 left, and I was pretty sure he only had about 7.
I had 6.
there
Yeah,
wasn't a lot there.
I was flipping a coin between what you did with Steve. I was like, "Is that the cherry? Is that the cherry?"
Yeah, man, sweet. That's me.
Right, Drax. We'll hear from the deceased. Poor Steve. No more dancing elephants. Hey, just to reiterate this, guys. If you have a character die in a D&D game, just because it's dead in this particular adventure doesn't mean it's dead forever. You can bring those characters back in any game you wish. It's a D&D character. You can change them up a bit, have them the same. You can have them in a completely different campaign. It doesn't really matter.
Just not in the same campaign.
Just not in the same one, or in the same universe, so to speak.
Like I said before, it wasn't the fact that I died, because I was pretty sure that was going to happen. It's like 3 times where there was a 50% chance of my death. Like, it was my turn, I knew it. It's like, sweet. That first one, I had I knew I was going to take 2 lots of damage. The first one was going to be a death save. If I passed it, I'd live, and then I was going to guaranteed fail the second one from the acid damage. So that was a 50% chance, and the next one was a 50% chance too. And to be quite honest, I fucked up the entire battle because I'm shit as a rogue.
I think you forgot.
Right. I screwed up that whole fight.
I think you forgot about uncanny dodge and evasion.
I forgot about half of my shit.
Yeah, and this is the thing, when you're relatively new to the game too, it doesn't help. And then playing in a class that you're not 100% sure of, it just reading character sheets before a game. Just go through your features and traits before a session, just to refresh your memory on what abilities you do have, is always a good idea for that in the future. But yeah, so a moment from tonight from you, and then just a story.
It was the fact that after I died, I made a list of all the gear I had, all the gold, and everything, and then you blow up my body. So I was just like, damn it, I've got this all prepared to give you, and then no.
That's Hex, man. Hex is a chaotic being. So we'll go with. That's it.
That whole combat was my night for tonight.
Okay, awesome.
It had to be.
I'm glad the combat guy sort of was difficult, but not over the top difficult. It was designed to be tough. So.
I mean, right down from when we entered the room and you described it was just brilliant. I was just like, well, shit, this is amazing.
Cool. I'm glad. So, JJ, we'll go to you next, dude. So, a moment from tonight that stood out for you, and then a moment from the story, whether it's about your character specifically, or about another character, or about the story in general.
That whole battle was fucking amazing. I've never felt something like that, and fucking, oh my god. I don't know how to describe what I felt.
Yeah.
I felt scared. I felt like, yes, no, fuck, yes, no.
That's D&D, man. In a nutshell, that's D&D.
My hands all the time, so people had plenty of fun watching me do stupid shit.
Yeah.
It was just awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude. I really do.
My favourite part of the night, though, was how Magic's character killed that last person.
Yes, the ray of sickness.
That was really cool. And here, like, he's like, for my daughter. I'm like, what the fuck?
A little bit of a tie-in there after the last D&D session on Wednesday, it seems. So those that watch our Curse of Strahd will understand the reference there, 100%. So, Mr. Grimm, anything else, JJ, before we move on?
The whole thing was Hex. Love Hex.
Thanks, man.
And I love Hex, and Drax's character. They both helped me come out of my shell a lot, which I loved.
Good to see, mate. Like I said, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and as I say, your character was very well done, and you did exceptionally well with the RP.
Thank you. That's me.
Yes, exactly. They are fiercely loyal. You are 100%. Grim, aka Bernassus. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Combat was so amazing. Just fucking from top to bottom, it ebbs and flows. But the bit for me, and it's because I lost my shit, Hex disposing of Steve's body, and I'm like, oh my god, I just cracked up so much. The descriptiveness, I'm like, did I hear right? Baz said Steve, right? Oh my god. Disposing of Steve's body. Just.
I didn't expect that part, honestly. I mean, I kind of figured that you'd probably leave him dead, but I didn't expect you to dispose of him with alchemist fire.
I thought I'd misheard. I'm like, oh, surely that's the cultist. And I'm like, no, that was Steve. And the thing about the whole mini adventure is just how at odds we were with each other, because we're all different personalities, and it sort of encapsulated in a bit from the beginning where Hex was disguised as a boy, and the captain was like, oh, no, and Bernassus is like, oh no, the children are the future, you can't. and it just kept going. Like, we were all so individual, and there was like, you know, culminated in Alba, you know, stepping up and saying, I'm not putting up with this shit, and Steve doing the same, and it was just really great.
Cool. Mr. Magic the Gamer, aka Moriel, the Dark Reaper.
I got 2 moments from tonight, other than the epic battle. So, again, big props to our DM for creating such 2 fucking insane battles, including the one beforehand. Hex to Bernassus. He does have voices because he's fucked up in the head. I think that was in reference to Steve.
I think it was too.
As a note, the only time she swore in the entire game.
Yep.
And my other Hex moment was also for those who play World of Warcraft. The old rogues do it from behind line.
Yes, that was awesome.
So that was the two moments for me.
The thing that crashed up about that is we got raided by Rogue tonight as well, and he was in the chat, and it was his response was like, huh?
Yeah.
I do not deny this.
As for the campaign, obviously for me, I kind of stepped out of my shell a little bit with Moriel. I'm not one to play an evil type character. So even before all the, like, even as the story was creating, obviously his backstory started to come to life, but it was more the fact that it generally, I would not play a character like that at all. Like, even though I've played Vampire the Masquerading, you play kind of a similar mind, but you're not, you know, it's not totally evil. Whereas this guy is, even though he didn't really show it. And Cam, you're lucky that I virtually had no health, because Moriel was ready to kill the party. Because if for Moriel, you were his tools to complete this job. So once you were done, you were no use to him, or you were no longer required. So he would have disposed of what was not required any longer. But unfortunately, the battle took a lot out of him, both health-wise and spell-wise, so he was not able to do that. So everybody lives for another day.
I'm quite sure Hex would have been involved in that one as well.
Yes, yeah.
So just so you know, Hex and Moriel were telepathically chatting a lot behind the scenes that no one knew about.
I kind of figured.
I just want to say, with everybody here, it was for me. It's a first time, obviously, in a campaign with with Baz and Cam. Obviously, I'm in a campaign with Drax, and it's a lot of fun. But it was also good to see how different myself and Drax play in comparison to. And Banassus for that matter as well. There's the three of us are in Yanti's campaign, and we're just completely different. JJ, all I've got to say is, mate, mad props to you. You've like you said, you've gotten you've found you're a role player now, mate. So good on
D&D,
you.
dude. Anyone
You're
asks you,
D&D.
if anyone asks you,
So
I fucking
congratulations,
play
mate.
D&D and I fucking love it.
Like every episode, mate, you've just gotten better and better. So I've said it already a couple of times, and yeah, so well done to you. But I just want to thank Evil for all the work that he's put in to this as well. What theoretically only should have been a shortish campaign. The fact that he's a DM that allows the no rush approach. I appreciate that a lot, because I am one of those guys that do like when I get in the zone, that switches on, and the fact that there's no rush to get through that, that is much appreciated, and obviously to the rest of the crew, for going along with that process as well. So, and yeah, some of those battles, Evil, man. Jeez, I mean, they were awesome. They were really good, and a lot of them, like those last two big ones towards the end, they were hairy as, and it's just kind of like
so close.
Like there's moments
there was some natural ones and low rolls there from me towards the end, which could have ended the entire group quite easily if I got the rolls right.
So I think it's a great mini adventure, and hopefully someone else within our community would want to do this again, and see other people have this same experience as what we have. So yeah. So highly enjoyed it.
Awesome. Mr. Roasted Chicken, aka Captain Moore.
One thing that I really enjoyed tonight, it was the tie-ins towards the end, because I worked out obviously on the Wednesday night, and then hearing that today, I was like, oh shit, this is really, really cool. Like, well done, Magic. Of course, Alba as well, going from, the shy dragonborn to fuck you and fuck everyone, let's just get the job done and get the fuck out sort of thing. I had a good laugh at that one. Everyone said it, the combat, like, it was insane. I for sure thought we were all dead. Absolutely. But another thing that really stood out was goddamn bloody Hex. I knew throughout the entire bloody thing, I was like, she's no good. She's gonna betray me, and I thought she was gonna kill me at the end. Very surprised that you didn't. Very surprised. But same line as what Magic said. If I had a bit more health, I definitely would have taken Hex or tried to at least arrest her or something. But I was assessing the situation, trying to think. And I was like, I did not have enough hit points to deal with anyone at this present point in time. So yeah. But that was it was great. What I really loved about the campaign as a whole was I love how, even though this was supposed to be just a short multi-shot.
Well, it is kind of short. 6 episodes. It wasn't a huge thing. It was a mini adventure, which is exactly how it turned out. Probably 2 or 3 episodes longer than it was actually intended to be. But again, I don't like that pushing along thing too much.
That's what I loved about it. I loved the fact that you said that backstory wasn't,
it wasn't overly important, but it was for you guys more than me. Like, I didn't want to read backstories and then have to try and tie in people's backstories to a story, because it didn't really matter in this particular instance, but the backstory was for you guys to create your character and then interact with each other based on those backstories. And it worked. I mean, some of that stuff was coming through. Obviously, Moriel and Hex, that come through a little bit more. Steve was just fucking weird. Obviously, Captain Moore was a late addition as technically an NPC turned PC, and I'm glad I did it because I think without Captain Moore, some of that back and forth just wouldn't have been possible through the course of the few sessions. So
I'd like to commend you on allowing people, again, similar to what Magic said, the freedom to have that no rush approach, because I felt that even though you said, the backstory isn't going to be the main focus, I felt that, as Grim was saying, each character was so unique that as it went on, it was just, I could see more and more the lives that they may or may not have led as it was going on. And it was awesome. I think I love and hate Hex as a character.
I've seen a different side of Hex too. Like Hex is part of our home game, but in a slightly different light. I mean, she's definitely still a bit off, but she was part of it. I think she was part of Crystal's backstory, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can say about Hicks for everyone, and I don't want to give anything away in case I use her again, but she's like Ghost Rider, the Marvel Universe. She's not a bad
she's an
guy,
anti-hero, basically.
but she'll do whatever she wants to do, and whoever's in the way is in the way.
That was the most frustrating thing I've found. Trying to play like a lawful good character was like, I don't disagree with the result. It's just the matter about what you're doing.
Oh yeah,
how you're doing
Deadpool.
it.
Probably more like Deadpool than.
Yeah, maybe a little
Probably more like
Deadpool.
Deadpool than Ghost Rider. So we've
no,
got a
it's
couple of
great.
things from chat. One thing from Jax is that Loxodons are fiercely loyal, and Steve had showed his loyalty to Alba, the only person in the group that he was truly loyal to, which was 100%. Mina, I like comprehend languages usage to find out who they were summoning, and the campaign 1 was all the subtle tie-ins and descriptions of the Reaper abilities. Appreciate that. It was a last minute thing because I didn't expect to comprehend languages right there, so I just pulled that out my butt and threw Asmodeus' name out there because why not? Cultists are going to try and summon an archdevil, aren't they? This is how this works. But Muriel's reference to the Curse of Strahd character with his daughter, definitely. Yanti pointed that out. Obviously, Captain Moore and his references as well.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones and obviously the one last week as well. So, but yeah. So also we do have to thank Nutty for filling in, jumping in as Mia at the start of the game. Unfortunately, she wasn't around tonight. I was hoping we'd get to it before she left, so she could jump in and do that last scene. But it didn't turn out that way. It's not a huge difference there. But nonetheless, great session from a great bunch of RPers and players. I'm honoured to have you guys play in another game with me. I mean, I know most of you guys I've played with for a while now. Obviously, Baz and I've been playing D&D for a long time. The rest of you, obviously, in the Strahd campaign, and some of you in Yanti's campaign. So we're all sort of in the same sort of community. And JJ, again, brand new player to D&D. Really nervous about coming in and playing on camera. Most of us that know JJ understand why he was nervous and the anxieties and stuff that come along with that. So again, big ups to you, dude, for sticking it out, and hopefully we helped you feel comfortable in what you did. And
Thank you.
I say the RP just got better and better every session, dude. So I think you did really, really well.
No, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Hey, anytime, dude. There's going to be more of these, believe you me. So you're going to have more opportunities to come and hang out.
Really cool experience, and I think it's helped me
Awesome.
in more ways than one.
That's what we like to hear. So, in saying that, so this was obviously the end of our mini adventure. So, I will turn over to Baz to give us a rough time frame on season 2 of Vampire the Masquerade: Blood and Belief. We can take a couple of weeks break if you need a couple of weeks to prepare. No dramas. It's probably not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, 1 or 2's fine.
Yeah.
I don't actually need any time to prepare. I'm good to go.
Okay,
But
so we'll take 2 weeks. Where are we? What are we today? So let's say 7th November be the first back. So that'll give us 2 Sundays with a Sunday off, so we can sort of have a little bit of a break from the D&D thing and role play and get ourselves prepped. For those of us that are involved in the Vampire the Masquerade, we can prep for it. and the 7th of November will see the return of the Vampires of Melbourne and our Chronicle Blood and Belief. I will post that in the Discord as well. I'll probably do up a little, not a trailer as such, but a little splash screen, a little splash screen to let people know that it's coming.
Cam, I'm always working, mate. Always on D&D or VTM or some tabletop something. Always
doing a lot of stuff. So with that, tomorrow night we're going to be doing some New World again. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing some New World tonight after we're done here for a couple of 3 hours. Wednesday, D&D, Curse of Strahd be back here with us. Fridays over with Yanti on her channel for Stormlord's Wrath, and obviously next 2 Sundays we're going to be taking a break. We might do some New World. I may still stream, but we won't be doing D&D. Or we'll come back and just do just chatting maybe next Sunday. So if those,
go too, man.
head out. If you were available next Sunday, maybe we get a half a dozen of us in a Skype call and just sit down and we do a just chatting next week about D&D and Vampire Masquerade and just basically shoot the shit. If anyone's keen just to hang out, DMs, players alike, we just can throw some questions out there about rulings, because I know we did have some ruling discussions tonight and over the course of this little mini adventure about different things that had come up. Obviously things that I didn't know about Death Domain Cleric, and other spells that obviously not all DMs know all the spells and all the abilities, so these things need to be asked from time to time, and DMs make rulings that may not be to the book, and some people may question that. We can talk about how that sort of comes about and why different DMs make these decisions, so we'll let you know. Anywho, we should probably raid, as we were raided tonight by the Roguey Rogue. Let's see who we got online here. If anyone's got someone they would like us to raid, sing it out in the chat. Let's see who's on. We've raided Aussie Dev for a few times. Michael Neox playing Getting Over It. Damn. I don't think I even know what that game is. Has anyone got anyone that they would like to see me raid? Someone on their follow list. It doesn't have to be a D&D-er. Could be New World, Vampire Masquerade. It doesn't really matter. But let me know if you have someone that you would like us to raid and chat. Sup, Trash? Didn't see any DM inspirations from you tonight, Trash. I'm disappointed. Not that I really needed them. I could have used a couple of them, to be honest. There's some low rolls there from the DM tonight. Catch you later, pal. Oh, actually, Cuddly Raptor's doing D&D. We could look at... Oh, that's Aussie Defro as well. It's the same group. Oh, we're going to raid Cuddly Raptor, who is part of the Aussie Defro group, but is one of the players. So we're going to raid them instead of Aussie Defro. I think that's a good idea. Still a raid for them, but on a different level. Do the raid thing. Don't forget, tomorrow night, about 8 o'clock-ish, we will be back playing some New World. Doing the things and the stuff and the grind and all that stuff. So make sure you come and hang out with us. Look at your pink... I don't want to look at your pink thong. I think we've seen enough of your pink thong. Anyway, see you later, guys. We'll see you on tomorrow night.